Palestinian Liberation Organization to close its offices in Washington, D.C. The State Department regularly has to offer temporary permits to keep the office open, and after previously saying they would not do so to punish the Palestinians for joining the International Criminal Court, they've since granted them another 90-day permit to stay open. The State Department is trying to save face, however, saying that while they're letting the PLO stay open, they have advised the PLO office to limit its activity to only those specifically related to peace talks. Israel is mad at the Palestinians for joining the ICC, and Israel is not a party to the ICC, which is their way of trying to avoid facing court for war crimes, but the Palestinians' membership gives the ICC jurisdiction over Palestinian territories.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports photo-sharing website Imgur confirmed 1.7 million email addresses and passwords were stolen during a breach in 2014. Imgur released a blog post on Friday notifying users of the breach after attackers possibly cracked the website's password encryption algorithm. The post stated, "While we are still actively investigating the intrusion, we wanted to inform you as quickly as possible as to what we know and what we are doing in response." Troy Hunt, who runs the data breach notification site Have I Been Pwned, notified Imgur of the breach on Thursday after he was sent the data that included the information of Imgur users. The company said he simultaneously notified Imgur's founder and CEO and vice president of engineering. Our vice president of engineering then arranged to securely receive the data from the researcher and began working to validate the data belonged to Imgur users. After being notified of the breach, the company began resetting passwords of the affected accounts. Imgur said the information stolen in the breach did not include any personally identifying information such as real names, addresses, or phone numbers, as the site has never asked users to provide such information. While noting the incident is still under investigation, Imgur Chief Operating Officer Roy Siegel said attackers may have cracked the site's password encryption through brute force due to the older SHA-256 algorithm, which has since been updated. Imgur encouraged users to use different email and password combinations for all of their online accounts and to reset passwords that may have been affected by the breach. Hunt praised Imgur for quickly responding to the news of the breach despite learning of it during a holiday.
Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spend-A-Bit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spend-A-Bit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. spendabit.co.
Reuters reports Black Friday and Thanksgiving online sales in the United States surged to record highs as shoppers bagged deep discounts and bought more on their mobile devices, heralding a promising start to the key holiday season, according to retail analytics firms. U.S. retailers raked in a record $7.9 billion in online sales on Black Friday and Thanksgiving, up 17.9% from 1 year ago, according to Adobe Analytics, which measures transactions at the largest 100 U.S. web retailers. Adobe said Cyber Monday is expected to drive $6.6 billion in internet sales, which would make it the largest U.S. online shopping day in history. In the run-up to the holiday weekend, traditional retailers invested heavily in improving their websites and bulking up delivery options, preempting a decline in visits to brick-and-mortar stores. Commerce marketing firm Criteo said 40% of Black Friday online purchases were made on mobile phones, up from 29% last year. No brick-and-mortar sales data for Thanksgiving or Black Friday was immediately available. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
If you're a parent, chances are you know all about the Spooky Truth books, with subjects ranging from shadowy fraternal organizations to mind-controlling TV shows. Kids can't get enough of this series of short, scary children's novels.
And Spooky Truth author K.L. Graves is joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Now, my kids just love these books. In just 4 years, you put out 25 books. It came from Tower 7, Curse of the Chemtrails, The Zionist Who Cried Holocaust.
Now, this stuff has really been catching on. Over 40 million copies sold, so many bestsellers. bestsellers out there.
I've been thrilled. Before this series, I was self-publishing pamphlets and handing them out on the train. Now I get emails from teachers and parents all the time telling me that my books are all their kids can talk about.
Oh, well, it's true. My son used to hate to read. Now he's holed up in the basement with these spooky truth books all day and night. Says he never watches TV, doesn't even want tap water anymore. He just loves reading so much.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. You may join us toll free here. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. 855-450-3733. We've got Skype as well, so feel free to Skype into the show at Skype username LRN.FM. And joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Johnson.
And Will.
So you can join us toll free again, 855-450-FREE, or again, Skype username LRN.FM. That's actually where we're going to start tonight. Dominic is on the line via Skype. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Dominic.
Hi, how are you all this evening?
Great. What's on your mind?
Great. I'm doing well, and I'm actually calling from the University of Essex in the UK right now.
Oh, all right.
And,
so is it past midnight there right now?
Yeah, it's 5 past midnight.
Got it.
I'm staying up a little late for
well,
this.
Thank you.
But,
thank you. What was on your mind
I
tonight?
to share some. Yeah, so a few weeks ago, there was a group on campus, and they had a big red bus, and it said, "Oh, start a revolution." And I don't know if you've been following the political climate over here in the UK lately, but
we have not. So clue us in. What's it like?
Yeah, so the Conservative Party is they lead government right now, and basically they're not really conservative in the true meaning. And so the Labour Party, which is basically a socialist party now, it's run by Jeremy Corbyn. A lot of young people are behind that. I suspected that group might have been with the Labour Party. So anyway, I go up and chat with this lady, and she tells me that, I'm like, "Oh, so what are you doing here today?" She said, "Oh, we're here to celebrate the centenary of the Soviet Revolution, which was founded on the principles of gender equality and homosexual rights and stuff like that." And I was thinking to myself, "Are you kidding me? Really, you're celebrating that?" And
is the suggestion that was like what was Stalin was supporting gay rights?
Lenin. It would have been Lenin, and the answer to that is actually no.
I wouldn't think so.
No.
Apparently, it was founded on the principles of that, and I've heard multiple people. I'm an economics major. I hear people talk about this all the time, both here in the States and elsewhere.
Well, I mean, they did believe in equal rights for all the gays, right? They believe that they should all be killed equally.
Yeah,
right?
That's equal. That's equal.
I suppose so.
We should all starve together equally.
Right.
Okay.
But anyway, I hear this point all the time, and I'm sure this is a well talked about subject. But this idea that communism, in theory, is a good idea. The works of Karl Marx were not a bad idea.
So basically, the political scene on college campus is the same in the UK as it is in the United States, because Marxism is kind of a big thing here too, from what I understand. Not that I'm going to college or anything.
I would say, yeah. I follow British politics a lot. You know, I mean, I've forced you to watch like a couple of hours of British.
You watch a lot of British TV shows.
I do a lot. Yeah. Well, most of them are political commentary shows, and I think that the influence of like someone like Jeremy Corbyn is a little overblown. You know, like I don't think that they're quite as influential as people think. I mean, he can't even get the support of his own party. I mean, and he's not like Bernie, who is from outside of the Labour Party coming into Labour and trying to be Labour. No, Corbyn is a dyed-in-the-wool socialist Labor Party guy, and even his own party, like the party officials won't even support him. It's not like here where the liberals will circle the wagons around Hillary Clinton. No, if somebody says something about Jeremy Corbyn, they will literally hang him out to dry. And Theresa May, to even start to call her, I mean, she's literally what's this, Tony Blair in a pantsuit.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, she's the British equivalent of Hillary Clinton, but in Britain that makes her conservative.
I feel like the feminists had to circle their wagons around Hillary because they're always going to be very afraid when a man's going into labor.
Yeah, well, I think David Cameron, he was kind of a more so a true conservative, but.
Well, yeah,
so
but he couldn't
keep his junk
out of the pig's head. So.
You know, we don't always necessarily know who all the politicians are over there. You're naming too many names for my comfort level. I don't like talking about politicians. But let's get back into what happened on the college campus. Was there more to that story?
Yeah. So just basically, what do you think of these people? Is communism a good idea in principle?
No.
Like, is it a bad idea in principle?
It goes against human nature. I mean, it seems to me people seem to want to have things that are their own, and the idea of giving up everything you have to some collective, some sort of thing that doesn't actually exist, it just doesn't seem like it will ever work.
Well, communism it depends on what you're calling communism. Like my family, if you look at the way we lived growing up, you would have called us communists, even though my parents were all dyed-in-the-wool Republicans, because we worked on each other. There were 10 brothers and sisters. We worked on each other's farms. We slaughtered animals on each other's farms together. Everybody shared. If
it's done voluntarily, then that's fine.
But we lived as like 10 families, basically as a commune. But we didn't call it that because we were a family. We just all took care of each other. And that's great if it's voluntary. And on those small local levels, it can work like that. But when you're trying
to work with 10,000, 20,000, 100,000?
I don't think so. I don't believe, because you're always going to have that lazy. I mean, even in our unit, in our small unit of families, you had those lazy people that were in the family, and somebody had to
pick up their slack, right?
Well, you had to you made it very clear to them: if you don't work, you don't eat.
Well, see, that's different from communism.
Yeah, that's very different from communism.
The communists believe, or at least the belief about communism, the communists believe that to each according to their ability, from each according to their ability, to each according to their need. The suggestion there being that, hey, if you can't work, you should eat just as well as everyone else.
Well, you also have to take into account that in family structures, like what I'm talking about, you have the extremely elderly who can't do those things anymore.
Sure.
And they're taken care of by the younger generations.
But then there's the younger generation, the ones that want to shirk the workload and act like they're hurt, but they're not actually hurt.
Yeah, those people get told, like, you can move out. You can not be involved. You don't get any beans, and you didn't come help slaughter, so you don't get any meat. You don't help, you don't get to be a part of the good that comes from it. But the elders in the family, it was looked at as like they already did their part, and now they actually can't anymore. And it's seen in the family as a responsibility to take care of those people. But when it's not your family, this is why socialism doesn't work in multicultural societies. It's because people are always happy about doing good for their unit. But when it starts doing good outside of your unit, whatever you, whether it's race or culture or family, wherever your borderline stops, people stop being okay with being charitable to those people. That's why you can't have a massive welfare state in a multicultural society without ending up with like the alt-right.
Right.
Dominic, any other thoughts you want to share on the topic?
Yeah, just the University of Essex is there are people from all over the world here, probably more so than British people, and there are a lot of Norwegians here, and I've had this discussion with them. They say, "Oh, why doesn't the U.S. have this system or this program?" And the thing that I brought up to them is Norway is a completely different structure than the States is. And would you agree with that? Is that
Well, I've never been to Norway, but as I understand it, it's different. I mean, can't tell you offhand all of the ways that it's different because I don't have enough intimate understanding of how the system is set up there. Dominic, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number, if you want to join us, is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733 on another historic day for Bitcoin, the world's most popular decentralized cryptocurrency. Earlier today, surpassed $10,000 US per Bitcoin on Bitcoin averages charts for the very first time ever. It's currently down a little bit, down below 9,900. But
not according to my wallet.
Not for long. Yeah, it depends on which exchange you look at. Not for long, I'm sure. More coming up here in moments. We'll tell you all about it on Free Talk Live.
The young lady from the rescue delivered happy, and I panicked. He was missing hair, stinky, scabby, and I thought, what did I get us into? The cause of his issue was poor nutrition. It was neglect. The other owners didn't care enough about him to give him the nutrition he needed. But I have a vet that I trust, and she recommended Dinovite, DINOVITE.com. I ordered the first 90-day supply, and within a couple weeks, his skin started clearing up. He didn't smell. He had more energy. He just had a glow and a bounce about him. We've been using Dinovite for the last year, and Happy the rescue dog is Happy the healthy dog. I tell all my friends who have rescues to give their dog the chance at a new start with Dinovite. It's going to pay off for you and your dog for years to come.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1, plus an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Dash is digital cash, a digital currency designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast and easy, fees are low, and transactions are confirmed instantly. Pay anyone, anywhere in the world, anytime for just pennies on the dollar. Dash is the first digital money that's governed by its users. Join Dash at dash.org and help build a better financial system for everyone. Find out more at dash.org.
Are you about to meet the media? If you're about to be interviewed, do their homework for them. Know this about the person who will interview you. He or she is busy, so expect minimal, if any, preparation. He or she doesn't know as much about your topic as you do. He or she isn't as concerned as you are about getting your message out, so you need to take responsibility. Provide a biography and fact sheet, photographs, or other materials that tell your story. Reporters won't be put off if you supply frequently asked questions. Remember, Public Speaking 101, at the end of the speech, what's the one thing you want them to remember? You can download the document I supply to reporters who interview me and squirm through a video that demonstrates how not to conduct your media interview at www.survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
The 3 most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share 1 episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves just by dialing in toll-free here at 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Bitcoin hitting record highs again. I mean, day after day after day. I mean, it's got to stop at some point, but who knows when that's going to be.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it may just seem to be getting faster and faster, right? Because the percentage difference for it to make gains now would be smaller for it to make larger gains.
Meaning it's going to jump $1,000 in a day, no problem, regularly, is what you're saying.
I don't know if I would say $1,000 in a day, but
it's been about $1,000.
Let's say it went up tenfold, over the course of the past year, right? Which is what it did. It went from
more than that, yeah.
Yeah, it went, from $1,000 to $10,000. So if it were to make that same jump from $10,000 to $100,000 over the course of the next year,
that would be amazing.
It would be amazing.
It would be a game changer.
It would certainly be a huge game changer. But what would that look like on a daily basis?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a lot.
If you divide, I mean, obviously it's going to be a curve that gets faster towards the end. But if you divide, 990,000 divided by 365, what is that per day?
It's a lot. That is a lot. It's pretty exciting to watch it all happen, and of course, we're going to continue to cover what's going on there. You said 990,000 divided by 365?
Yeah.
About $2,700 per day.
Oh, so we might start seeing $1,000 days start coming relatively quickly. At first, that'll be slow, but...
Now, there's no guarantee it's going to hit $100,000 by the end of next year. There's no guarantee that the rate of increase is going to continue.
Who was it that didn't McAfee predict that?
He predicted $500,000 Bitcoin by a certain time frame, and I don't remember when it was that he said it was
10 years or something like that.
Might have been 5. I don't know what he said.
Did he say something about a hot dog on television or something?
He said he was going to eat a dick.
Yeah.
And of course he meant a spotted dick, right? Not not something else that we can't talk about.
Yeah.
Of course.
So the
not a fine sausage from Vienna.
I found spotted dick in a can at the grocery store.
Is that
here.
right?
I couldn't believe it.
So we got news related to Bitcoin. Apparently, the government in the United States is making noise about possibly increasing the difficulties surrounding what they call anti-money laundering laws and applying that to cryptocurrency. Johnson's going to tell us about that a little bit later. But also internationally, Will, you had a headline related to Bitcoin coming out of Kenya, where apparently, like here in the U.S., the old banker types are on the attack against it?
Well, it's not only Kenya. It's Kenya, Ghana, and now Ghana is really important because Ghana is where you have a lot of cryptocurrency stuff going on. BitPay, which is a company that I invested in that is doing a multi-crypto platform.
No, not yet.
Point of sale.
Not yet. BitPay? No, they only have Bitcoin.
No, my BitPay, not regular BitPay.
What's my BitPay?
The BitPay ICO that you and I talked about that we had my friend on my other show.
Oh, that's a different company, though.
It is a different company.
They don't
that's
call
what
it
I said.
BitPay. They something else. BitPlus.
That was it. BitPlus.
Okay. All right.
The BitPlus ICO, their point of sale is active in multiple businesses in Ghana. And you have these governments are now saying that they want to try to regulate it. It says here, Kenya's central bank is warning against the risk of cryptocurrencies. An advisor to Ghana's Ministry of Communication describes, quote, fear of the unknown as the principal barrier to greater adoption of virtual currencies. In other news, a Kenyan man is negotiated to pay the goat portion of his dowry using Bitcoin.
Goat portion.
Yeah, part of his some tribes in Kenya, a number of goats are added in to the price that you give to the family of the woman that you're marrying.
But he's managed to replace the goats with Bitcoin?
That is correct.
Is that going to be like the next ICO, Goat Coin?
Right.
It may already exist.
Well, my wife's family actually is from Kenya. Her father-in-law works in security services there, and her best friend's family are all higher-ups in the Kenyan government. And when I spoke to my father-in-law today, specifically about the attempts that the Kenyan government was saying, and the Kenyan central bank specifically were saying that they were going to attempt to try to regulate Bitcoin. My father-in-law basically just kind of laughed.
Yeah, let's get back into it.
It also is a thing.
Goat coin, it's
Yes,
a thing.
it
I
is
was
a
going to say,
thing.
I bet there are certain animal coins. Goat coin may be one of them. Let's go to Jim. He's in the Tri-Cities area in Washington State, I believe, listening to KFLD. Hello, Jim.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome. You're on the air. Go ahead.
This is the first time I've called in. I've listened to you for over a year now.
Thank you. What's on your mind tonight?
Unfortunately, we're on delay, so I won't get to hear you live over here for another 8 hours almost.
Well, I still appreciate you taking time out of your night to call us up. So, or I guess afternoon your time. But go ahead with your thoughts.
Okay. I was wanting to jump into the crypto thing a little bit.
Sure.
So I finally figured one out that I figured was good. I don't want to say what it is. All right. But anyways, I went onto their site and I tried to set up an account, and they gave me like a 32-character password, crazy ass password. But anyways,
okay.
And it won't recognize the password. That's as far as I can get. Is I try to sign up, and you put it all in for the verify, and it says it doesn't match. Sorry. So that's as far as I can get.
If you think it's a good idea, there's not really any benefit to keeping it to yourself, right? Like it's not the same thing as a stock or anything like that.
I wouldn't want to scream about it until I got myself in first.
Yeah, I see.
Over
I see what you're saying.
National radio.
You're concerned that other people are going to go buy it up.
Radio if I can't get in.
No, I see what you're saying. You're concerned that other people are going to buy it up and push the price up before you can actually figure out how to get into the website. The thing
can't
is,
even get in there.
if you don't tell us what it is, we're not going to know right off. Like, we may know, oh yeah, that's a scam if you say what the thing is.
Oh, I know this. It probably isn't. I'll talk to you off the air.
But yeah, I mean, we can't offer like tech support on the air. I'm sure you can understand the national radio show.
Another
We can't do
concern I
that.
have
But
for
there
future
are websites, like the Bitcoin forums over at bitcoin.com, where you might be able to post and get some assistance or search for other threads of people that have had similar difficulties as yourself. But did you have something else you wanted to share?
Yes, I do believe that there is going to be a rug pulling event on this whole thing in the future, not like within the next year.
What do you mean by that?
But I think I mean that something weird will happen where you won't be able to access the digital stuff for some reason.
You're talking about like them shutting down the internet?
Who knows what it could be. The EMP pulse or something where the electricity goes out. But
that is the big fear these days, right? That Kim Jong-un is going to launch an EMP satellite or something like that?
It could come from the sun. It doesn't even have to come from him. But I'm just saying that I would recommend to the listeners not to put all your eggs in the crypto basket.
Oh, yeah.
You got to keep some somewhere else.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
That could go away just like that.
It could. I mean, the odds are the internet's never going to go away. But certainly if something traumatic like an EMP did happen, then, the least of your concerns is going to be where your crypto is and where your next meal is going to come from.
Maybe somebody will figure out how to hack a blockchain one of these days.
That's pretty unlikely without quantum computing, which, one of these days we'll get to that. Jim, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate it.
All international banking will fail.
It'll be steam powered.
Everything will fail, right? I mean, almost everything will fail if an EMP hits. More coming up here in moments.
I mean, cracking that level of security.
This is Free Talk Live.
If you or someone you care about loves outdoor adventure, then check out slingbow.com for some unique holiday gift ideas. That's slingbow.com, where we have some innovative new products for the archer, hunter, or bow fishing enthusiast in your family. Now through January, use the promo code HOLIDAY to get free shipping in the U.S. or Canada. And from all of us at Slingbow Industries, have a safe, joyous, and peaceful holiday season.
The answer to being in control of your own healthcare is freedom from insurance. Become part of a group of self-pay patients that come together to share in each other's medical expenses. Individual share amounts begin at $107 a month and $347 for families. Choose from 3 health-sharing programs. Holistic treatments may be eligible for sharing. See guidelines. Discount programs available for dental, vision, and pharmacy. Go to libertyoncall.org. That's libertyoncall.org.
Free Talk Live.
I wish you would have answered the question as to what's the age range. I mean, if two 10-year-old boys are playing doctor with each other, and he was specific that he said it was okay for a boy and a girl to play doctor, which did happen to me when I was that age, but I was maybe 2.5, 3 years older than that girl. Am I a molester? She was the one trying to take my pants off. Should she go to jail?
You know, people like Lou, they get all upset over things like this when they're not even apprised of the facts. And you try to tell them the facts, and since it doesn't fit with their worldview, it doesn't fit with their core belief system, it can't be possibly true that I could have possibly have known what I was doing at that
Children
age.
who are engaged in sex with somebody who is older are being manipulated. That's one of them. And, sometimes sometimes that's true.
Absolutely. There's no doubt.
And sometimes it's not.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Yep, it's Free Talk Live. You can join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom, 855-450-3733. Joining you in our studio here tonight in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire, it's Ian.
And Johnson.
And Will.
We're going to go back to your calls and thoughts. Coming up, we'll talk more about the fear-mongering governments of the world and how they're responding to Bitcoin, this amazing thing that doesn't seem like it can be stopped. The price just keeps going up. I mean, that's not going to, it couldn't possibly last forever. But man, the last year has seen over 1,000% increase in the price of one Bitcoin. It's just been a wild ride. If you want to get the basic info about Bitcoin, great place to learn, the basics. Go to bitcoin.com. Easy to remember. Easy to get to, bitcoin.com. Check that out. They've got some other cool features on the site. Like if you ever quickly need a conversion between, let's say, Bitcoins and dollars or Bitcoin Cash and dollars, you can just go to tools.bitcoin.com, and that'll pop up their converter for you. So that's tools.bitcoin.com. You want to get into a Bitcoin mining pool? You can do that over at pool.bitcoin.com. They got a bunch of cool features over there. Plus, their news site will keep you up to date on what's happening with the latest in the Bitcoin universe. All of that's over at bitcoin.com. Let's go to Stefan. He's in Ohio on Skype. Stefan, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
I'd like to discuss something that happened in my city today.
All right.
There was a factory that actually exploded and created a huge, thick batch of smoke that could be seen from miles away. My parents were like 15 miles away, and they actually called me to see if I was all right at the house and everything. And the way the populace reacted, I think, was absolutely horrendous. It seemed like everybody was driving towards the explosion.
Well, they want to go see it?
Yes, and that created a major problem that I noticed, and maybe this is some advice for you guys or maybe some of the listeners, is all that does is stunt the ability for emergency services to get there. Emergency services were having a very difficult time going down the street because there were just so many cars gummed up going to watch it, and there were people in lawn chairs actually watching the explosion from across the street. And I don't know what makes a person think there's a giant explosion, there's a giant fire, I'm going to go towards it.
Well, I mean, I can understand why somebody would sit in the lawn chair on their front lawn and watch it, but yeah, I wouldn't necessarily want to get too close to something like that. Although I can understand the attraction. I mean, it probably was pretty interesting to watch.
Well, yeah, and it was sort of freaky because, my neighbors were all freaking out, and I went outside. Next thing you know, like half the street is engulfed in black smoke because this is only a couple blocks from me. And, everything had to be shut off. The windows had to be closed. And I just think that, blocking services from getting where they need to go, whether or not anybody agrees with emergency services, is a terrible thing because the fire department could not get there fast enough, and what ended up happening is it was prolonged by a few hours.
Now, has any footage of the actual initial explosion, did that happen to get caught, to your knowledge? I'm not seeing anything here on the internet.
Here, I'll give you a link to the local news if you want to read that off.
Yeah, I found a news story about it, but did anybody actually happen to be pointing a camera at the explosion when it occurred?
Not as of yet, but seeing as how this is a very industrial part of the town, I'm sure that some of the security cameras from other buildings probably caught it. And not to mention, as said, this fire was visible all the way in Canton, which is like forever from here.
Yeah.
And, I just wanted to call in the comment and say, people, be a little more careful if something like this happens. You can't be blocking fire departments from getting to the fire. That's just going to get more people hurt.
Stefan, thanks for the thoughts. Appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. Did you guys ever see that video of the Chinese fireworks factory blowing up?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's the most amazing explosion, some of the most amazing explosion footage I've ever seen, just because there's so much. I mean, that's different than, I'm sure, what happened in Ohio, which according to WKBN.com was a China factory. So ironically making China in the United States. But regardless, that's apparently what they were doing there. Probably not as intense of an explosion. I remember the fireworks explosion was like a series of multiple sort of cascading explosions. It was just absolutely stunning.
It's probably a gas explosion then, because to
China factory?
Yeah, because of the level of heat needed to melt the glass is probably coming from gas-fed fires. So that's probably the explosion you had.
Toll-free number tonight, 855-450-FREE like freedom. So, Will, you were telling us about some of the African nations. It was Kenya, Ghana, and what was the
Algeria.
Algeria.
Yeah.
And some of the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that is being spread over there by, let's say, the old money banker types, government types.
The old money banker to the central bank types and the government itself. There was a big blockchain conference in Ghana recently.
Okay.
While during the conference, they were able to get Ghana's cybersecurity advisor to the Ministry of Communications. He came in, and the statement that he says, I mean, it's pretty clear here. It's quote says, "We are battling fear. The state doesn't want to move forward because it doesn't know what's there. To demystify cryptocurrency, we need a community-driven agenda. We need to strategically demystify the misconception around cryptocurrency and get it integrated into the government digitization agenda."
That sounds like a good thing.
Yeah. Well, but this is after him saying that, quote, "We have our fear about cryptocurrency. Discussions are ongoing, and our country is very hesitant to adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender due to fears of the unknown." So they're admitting that it's the state's afraid to allow cryptocurrency to function and be. I mean, they're literally talking about it being a a form of legal tender in Ghana.
That would be very different than what it is anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, you already have like I said, you already have point of sale systems being installed in businesses in Ghana. So, and then the next big story out of Africa is Algeria. Their newest financial legislation seeks to, quote, the purchase, sale, use, and holding of so-called virtual currencies is prohibited.
Now that is terrible. That's
the virtual
awful.
currency is the one used by internet users through the web. It is characterized by the absence of physical support, such as coins, banknotes, payments by check or bank card, specifying that, quote, any violation of this provision is punished in accordance with the laws and regulations in force. So,
yikes.
Yeah, the newest bill up for a vote in Algeria is specifically trying to prohibit the holding, sale, transfer, use of
So this hasn't gone through.
cryptocurrency.
This
No,
is
it hasn't
just a
gone
bill.
through.
Somebody's proposing this.
It is a bill that's been brought up. It's not
Okay.
gone up for the vote yet. Now, I'm going to give a quick explanation, at least my own personal opinion as to why.
All right. Why it hasn't been voted on, or
why you're seeing these things happen in Africa.
Well, you're seeing similar things in other places as well.
Cryptocurrencies are so dangerous to the African governments and the way that they function and the way that they basically fleece their populace, that it's actually influenced the passing of tax-based legislation. The VAT tax in Kenya was passed, and when that happened, my father-in-law and I basically hatched a scheme to introduce Bitcoin to the Kenyan market by offering it through a charity program where you could do work and you would be paid in Bitcoin, and then that Bitcoin would be used at the farms that you would go and work at, because they were charging a VAT tax on all the consumables. So it was making it to where the very poor we're having even a harder time getting access to food in the midst of like mass starvation. So what the government did within a couple of months of us trying to start this program was they passed a new tax to where now not only is like me selling you eggs taxed, but you owning a chicken at all is taxed. So to get around the fact that we were using Bitcoin to get around the VAT tax, they started taxing the individual animals of the owners, even if you didn't sell them.
It never ends. The toll-free number here is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And don't think that cryptocurrency is safe if you're in the United States. Apparently, they're looking at changing the anti-money laundering laws here to... Well, we'll tell you about it.
Whether you share content as a curator or produce it as a creator, the source of your advertising revenue is often limited by intermediaries like YouTube. What if there was a way to connect content creators directly with advertisers, decentralizing attention-based market advertising transactions, and putting the control back into the hands of content owners? Introducing the revolutionary Signal Token Protocol by Spective VR. Partnered with Blend Media, the largest network of 360 video content in the world, and featured on Fox Business's Innovations, Spective VR is a 360 VR streaming platform created to be the first use case and early adopter of the Signal Token Protocol, driving real use and allowing Spective to optimize their platform. SpectiveVR.com is hosting a pre-ICO for Signal tokens starting December 8th at a 40% bonus. For early access to the token sale and an exclusive 60% token bonus, sign up for the email list at SpectiveVR.com.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-557-0158. That's 800-557-0158. Again, 800-557-0158.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
There's no better app for tracking the value of cryptocurrencies than CoinCap. I've had a lot of apps for tracking Bitcoin, but none that's ever been able to track 500 digital assets at once. Their best feature is the Altfolio. I love this thing. You enter how many Bitcoins, Ether, Dash, Doge, or whatever else you have, and it tells you how much your crypto is worth. You can watch yourself get rich. If you have crypto, go right now to coincap.io, or you can use the Apple Store or Google Play to get the app. I love CoinCap. coincap.io.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You may dial toll-free. Join us right here if you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom, 855-450-3733. With you in the studio here, you've got Ian.
And Johnson.
And Will.
Also, since we're talking about cryptocurrency, you need to know about Dash. Bitcoin's not the only kid on the block. It's just the biggest one. Bitcoin's been around for a long time. Dash is currently, I believe, the number 6 or 7, one or the other. I don't have it in front of me. But it is one of the top 10 cryptocurrencies in the world. It's also known as digital cash, a digital money platform designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast, it can be private and easy, fees are low, and transactions are quick and can even be confirmed instantly. You can pay anyone, anywhere in the world, anytime, for just pennies on the dollar. And Dash is decentralized, run by users who earn rewards for helping run the network and make governance decisions. Anyone can invest in Dash and earn rewards for helping run the Dash network. So join Dash and help create a better financial system for everyone. Take back control over your financial future today. You can find out more at dash.org. There's a lot of momentum behind Dash right now. Once again, go to dash.org to find out why. The current price of a Dash, by the way, is about $626 per Dash. It is the number 7 cryptocurrency in the world. And let's see, a year ago, let's just see what the price was a year back. $8.91. So Dash is up quite a bit since 1 year ago to today. So go and learn more, dash.org. Let's go to Dave. He's in Virginia, watching us on our cams at cam.freetalklive.com via YouTube. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, first-time caller. Thanks. And I just really wanted to thank you guys for everything you do. I've been listening to you guys for about a year, and since then, I have purchased Bitcoin, Dash, and Litecoin.
Cool.
I'm in my mid-50s, so my son has helped me with that quite a bit.
Right on. So it's worked out for you. That's good.
It has. It's been great. And actually, I retired from my business, and I now work with my son. And
cool.
As I'm driving through Virginia for work, I listen to Free Talk Live on Bluetooth off my phone. But you guys are really kind of like my heroes here, because you guys are doing what we all should be doing.
What do you mean by that? When you say we're doing what we all should be doing, I mean, not everybody can do a radio show, so what do you mean?
I'm sorry. I've learned that to be an activist, you have to be active.
Sure.
By listening to your show, obviously.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I don't count Facebook posts as real activism.
I'm not. I believe in working within the system. And we in Virginia, we have 2 bills that we're going to have in this session coming up, legislative session.
Okay.
That I've been working with the legislators on.
Oh, tell me about it.
The first one is to reduce regulations on different businesses. The same ones in a lot of states, hair braiders and all cosmetologists and all that, to reduce regulation. But the bigger one is the asset forfeiture. In Virginia, basically the law is you could get pulled over, robbed by gunpoint, sent on your way, and they don't even have to report it.
They don't have to report it?
They don't even have to report it.
Meaning there's no internal document?
Mechanism. Excuse me?
Meaning, like, within the police department, if they take if you're driving down the road with your life savings and they take, let's call it $20,000 cash from you, they don't even have to write an internal report about that?
Internally, yes, but there's no report to the state. Nobody knows a total of how much asset forfeiture there is in Virginia.
So you can't do a Freedom of Information Act and demand to see all of those internal reports from the police department to see how many of them they've written within the last year or something like that?
You could, but you have to go from department to department to department. There's no state reporting mechanism.
I see. Okay.
So the bill that we're introducing this year is to make them report where, why, how, what, everything that they took, why they took it, what they're doing with the money. So we can have a database that shows why they confiscated goods and what they're going to do with the money, or what they have done with the money.
I guess that's a step towards hopefully some other bill in the future that could possibly rescind or reduce asset forfeiture. Is that the idea?
Right. Well, that's the first step. It's like a 3-step process that we're looking at. The second step, if we can get that passed this year, where they have to document everything and report it, then next year the goal is to take the money from asset forfeiture and put it towards something else, rather than
instead of like the department's budget.
Right. So there's no incentive to keep doing it.
Right.
That's the idea. And then the third.
And how are you able to work with state representatives there? Do you just happen to know some of them, or are you able to actually talk to these people?
My neighbor is going to be the new Speaker of the House.
Ah, okay.
In Virginia this year. Our former Speaker retired. My neighbor is moving up to the Speaker of the House, and so I have a lot of political contact with him.
Sounds like it. Okay.
Some other ones that we know. We homeschool, and my wife is big in that group, and so we know a lot of the legislators from things we've tried to do over the years. And anyway, so the third step is to make it where they have to have a conviction before they can take anything.
That would be sweet. Very good, man. I hope that works out, Dave. Will you let us know how that pans out in the long run?
Absolutely.
And thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate you sharing that. And you're right. People do need to take action, although it can be frustrating if you don't know somebody already, as it sounds like you do. So you're unusually connected, I would say. Your typical person is just going to be ignored by many of these state politicians. But thank you for the call tonight, and good luck with the efforts, which is one of the nice things about libertarians moving to New Hampshire, because here the state representatives, there's 400 of them, so there's more state representatives per capita here in New Hampshire than in any other states. It's like one state rep basically for every 3,000 or 3,500 people here. So you are their neighbor. They're very close to you, literally living within, not quite a stone's throw, but nearby. And you probably see them at the grocery store, whether you know them or not. They're actually around. You can call state reps in New Hampshire. And I remember when I was in Florida trying to contact state representatives there, you got to go through, gatekeepers, secretaries, people who are, it's their job to intercede between you and the politician. In New Hampshire, those people don't exist, at least at the state rep level. The state senators do have like one secretary for multiple senators. So like there's 24 state senators here in New Hampshire, and I don't know how many secretaries they have, but let's just call it 5. There's, one secretary handles all the calls for several senators. But for the state representatives, there's no secretary for the state representatives. They'll put you through to a voicemail or something like that at the front switchboard. But usually when you call a state rep, you're calling them at their house. If you go to the state website and you look up the state representatives in your area, they'll give you phone numbers for them that are not the state phone number. It's like sometimes I called the state senator a few years back, and she answered on her cell phone. So she had her cell phone listed on the public state government website as far as how you can reach her. Yeah. I mean, that's just an unprecedented level of access to people that in other states, you can't even talk to them unless it's during the campaign season. Then they pretend like they want to hear what you have to say, and they'll make public appearances. But as soon as they get elected in those other states, man, they are insulated from having to contact little people.
Another example, a little more recent, when the first story came out about the city government giving us
going
trouble
after you in the mosque,
with the mosque. Within a couple of hours of that coming out, you had 2 local state senators state representatives who had made public statements in support of the Malik Center.
Really?
Like, bam, like that.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, yeah. Public posts. One of them was like, "Don't worry." It said
you're
to
talking
me
about the libertarians.
specifically.
You're talking about the libertarians.
Libertarian
okay.
state
I thought you might have
representatives.
meant the ones from this area.
No, the 2 libertarian state representatives were like, "We've got your back."
2 of the 3. There's actually 3 sitting state reps here that are actual Libertarian Party members. Now, they did convert from Republicans and Democrats earlier this year, but it still counts.
Yeah.
New Hampshire is the only state of all 50 states with any seated state representatives who are actual libertarians. I mean, you just don't get that anywhere else. And the reason why that's happening here is because, first of all, New Hampshire already has the kind of live free or die mentality. It's kind of baked into many of the natives here. But also, we've got this constant influx of libertarian, voluntarist, anarchist types who are moving here, migrating here as part of the New Hampshire Freedom Migration. And when you get numbers together, guess what? You can actually have success as libertarians. More coming up.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $9.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, November 27th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.12 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,295 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 4.3 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,671. Antiwar.com reports the Palestinian threat to retaliate by severing all diplomatic ties with the U.S. appears to have worked, and officials have confirmed that the U.S. has backtracked on a previous order for the Palestinian Liberation Organization to close its offices in Washington, D.C. The State Department regularly has to offer temporary permits to keep the office open, and after previously saying they would not do so to punish the Palestinians for joining the International Criminal Court, they've since granted them another 90-day permit to stay open. The State Department is trying to save face, however, saying that while they're letting the PLO stay open, they have advised the PLO office to limit its activity to only those specifically related to peace talks. Israel is mad at the Palestinians for joining the ICC, and Israel is not a party to the ICC, which is their way of trying to avoid facing court for war crimes, but the Palestinians' membership gives the ICC jurisdiction over Palestinian territories.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports photo sharing website Imgur confirmed 1.7 million email addresses and passwords were stolen during a breach in 2014. Imgur released a blog post on Friday notifying users of the breach after attackers possibly cracked the website's password encryption algorithm. The post stated, "While we are still actively investigating the intrusion, we wanted to inform you as quickly as possible as to what we know and what we are doing in response." Troy Hunt, who runs the data breach notification site Have I Been Pwned, notified Imgur of the breach on Thursday after he was sent the data that included the information of Imgur users. The company said he simultaneously notified Imgur's founder and CEO and vice president of engineering. Our vice president of engineering then arranged to securely receive the data from the researcher and began working to validate the data belonged to Imgur users. After being notified of the breach, the company began resetting passwords of the affected accounts. Imgur said the information stolen in the breach did not include any personally identifying information such as real names, addresses, or phone numbers, as the site has never asked users to provide such information. While noting the incident is still under investigation, Imgur Chief Operating Officer Roy Siegel said attackers may have cracked the site's password encryption through brute force due to the older SHA-256 algorithm, which has since been updated. Imgur encouraged users to use different email and password combinations for all of their online accounts and to reset passwords that may have been affected by the breach. Hunt praised Imgur for quickly responding to the news of the breach despite learning of it during a holiday.
Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Spendabit.co.
Reuters reports Black Friday and Thanksgiving online sales in the United States surged to record highs as shoppers bagged deep discounts and bought more on their mobile devices, heralding a promising start to the key holiday season, according to retail analytics firms. U.S. retailers raked in a record $7.9 billion in online sales on Black Friday and Thanksgiving, up 17.9% from 1 year ago, according to Adobe Analytics, which measures transactions at the largest 100 U.S. web retailers. Adobe said Cyber Monday is expected to drive $6.6 billion in internet sales, which would make it the largest U.S. online shopping day in history. In the run-up to the holiday weekend, traditional retailers invested heavily in improving their websites and bulking up delivery options, preempting a decline in visits to brick-and-mortar stores. Commerce marketing firm Criteo said 40% of Black Friday online purchases were made on mobile phones, up from 29% last year. No brick-and-mortar sales data for Thanksgiving or Black Friday was immediately available. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Sources within the Vatican confirmed Tuesday that Pope Benedict XVI has dispatched an elite team of 6 bishops to sabotage leading contraceptive manufacturer Pfizer. Codenamed Conclave 6, the highly trained team of bishops will reportedly infiltrate the heavily guarded compound, detonate extremely powerful charges at key points within the factory, and then escape to a nearby safe house.
The Catholic Church can trust only the best with defending God's plan. Conclave 6 is the deadliest team of bishops I've ever laid eyes on.
The Pope denied rumors that a B team of needle-wielding priests had been deployed to a latex factory in New Jersey to poke tiny holes into thousands of Durex condoms. Locally, the best part of a gay 12-year-old's day is the half hour he spends eating lunch alone in a stairwell. Calling it his only respite from constant ridicule and mockery, 7th grader Ben McElroy says life doesn't get better than the moments he spends quietly laying out his lunch on a secluded staircase while the rest of his classmates are in the cafeteria.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free to join us. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have Skype, and the Skype username is lrn.fm. $10,000 Bitcoin. That was the price earlier today. A world record high of, according to Bitcoin Average, $10,036. Right now it's at $10,012. We are officially into the 5-digit range for the cryptocurrency that just continues to chug ahead on its price, all the while its usefulness seems to be reduced, what with the excessive fees that it costs to simply send a Bitcoin transaction these days. Amazingly, the market don't care. They're buying it anyway.
Bitcoin for investing, Dash for spending.
Everybody loves a winner. You know, Bitcoin success breeds success. And in the case of Bitcoin, information spreads poorly as far as the average person probably doesn't know about how Bitcoin used to be. You know, if somebody's buying their first Bitcoin today and it costs them $10 to transfer the Bitcoin, well, of course, the average person probably isn't buying one Bitcoin given that they're $10,000, but you can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin. So if somebody's buying $1,000 worth of Bitcoin today and it costs $10 to send that transaction into their wallet, well, then that doesn't seem like a big deal. But if you were around a few years ago and you know that 3 years ago, there was no Bitcoin transaction generally that went higher than 2 or 3 cents, then you know something is seriously wrong with Bitcoin. But amazingly, people continue to buy in.
One of the beautiful things that I'm seeing, at least with my own investments in multiple, because I like all these different little underdogs, and I'm a weird guy that likes to read a lot about these different little ones. So I'm invested in multiple currencies, half of them nobody's ever heard of before.
Sure.
But what I'm seeing with Bitcoin is that a rising tide
lifts all the boats.
Lifts all ships. And what you see happening here, even Dogecoin, okay? I bought $3.
Which was a joke when they created it.
I bought $3 worth of Dogecoin, I don't know, 5 months ago, just so I could say I've got some Dogecoin. It's the value of it's doubled in the last month since the Bitcoin has started to go up. Litecoin has gone from 60. I literally got 6 Litecoins to help a friend out 2 weeks ago for $60 a coin. Those coins are now worth $96 a piece. Bitcoin, according to my wallet right now, is at $10,112. Dash is now over $600, and it's been hovering like around $400 forever.
To go from $9 to over $600 is an even larger increase than the increase in Bitcoin, if you think about it, for percentage-wise.
Even my other smaller investments like Vertcoin, which is something that, was a small thing, and then about 3 or 4 months ago, it shot way up to $4, and it just kind of sat there. Even Vertcoin at one time hit a record high of $8 this past week. I mean, it's tapered off. It's back down to around $5, but still, a coin that was worth $4 for 3 months now worth $5. That's a 25% increase. That's a huge, huge gain for something that's just a few months ago was only worth a couple of cents.
So it is just an absolute phenomenon. The whole idea of cryptocurrency is, but the governments of the world aren't so happy about it, some of them. And I know, Johnson, you had a story tonight, and it's kind of a developing story. I did go back to the website that you shared here. It's cryptocoinsnews.com, where Congress is holding a hearing. Apparently, it happened earlier today about what are called anti-money laundering laws.
Right.
I didn't see that there had been an update yet about this, but what did you want to share from the story?
Well, I just thought that was interesting that they're, talking about potentially criminalizing all cryptocurrency use.
Just like they were talking about doing in Algeria?
Right.
Yeah.
So, congratulations, first world government, on doing the same thing here and just strengthening
third world country. Yeah.
Was there any specific proposal that is on the table, or was this just a meeting to talk about what they could possibly do in the future?
I'm not entirely sure how it's all going to work. I actually found out about this because I was informed about it just before coming over to be on the show. Actually, somebody passed it along and said, "Hey, did you hear about this emergency meeting? They're going to criminalize all cryptocurrency." And so I'm
there's a lot
I
of,
better pass this along and see what's if anybody else has heard about.
There's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt being spread out there about cryptocurrency. Certainly, anytime a government body of some sort comes together, it's legitimate to be concerned, right? Anytime some lawmaking types come into a room and sit down to discuss cryptocurrency, there's a good chance that coming out of that meeting is going to be some sort of decision to crack down in some way. The good news is every time a world government has done something, tried to do something about cryptocurrency, whether it be regulate it more or tax it in some way or control it in some way, the price of the cryptocurrency is almost never affected on anything more than a slightly temporary basis. There was some news earlier this year about China announcing that it was going to close Bitcoin exchanges or something like that, and the price dipped for like a day, and then it went back up above where it was the day before.
And China totally didn't close Bitcoin exchanges. They opened a lot more, as a matter of fact.
Is that what happened? Yeah, I didn't follow it closely. But
China's like the center of Bitcoin scam. Like China's like the center of Bitcoin scamming. When you go and look online, when I got scammed myself, when you go look online and all these people they talk about, the bank accounts that these people are having you wire money to are all in Hong Kong. So yeah, China is like the center of Bitcoin scamming right now of the entire world.
As long as there's a lot of money in Bitcoin, and there's over $150 billion of value right now in the Bitcoin, just in that one cryptocurrency. At this moment, and it just keeps shooting up. A year ago, it was 15 billion. It's now 150 billion. The total cryptocurrency market cap for the entire globe of all cryptocurrencies combined is now over $300 billion worth of cryptocurrency. And just for some perspective, that number was $200 billion 3 weeks ago. So it's gone up $100 billion. It's gone up 50%, the entire world market cap in 3 weeks by $100 billion. It's incredible. As long as there's a bunch of money in it, then there is also the possibility that the politicians will want a piece of that, right? And so how they're going to get a piece of that, because Bitcoin doesn't exactly have a lobbying firm or anything like that, but at least in the case here in New Hampshire, What we discovered was that some of the state reps and some of the state senators already have Bitcoin. And I'm not talking about the ones that are the libertarians. We know they've probably got cryptocurrency. But I mean just like some of the state senators who are just regular old state senators. Maybe they're more liberty-friendly than some of the other state senators. But I was in the hearing with the state Commerce Committee, the state Senate Commerce Committee, and 2 of the 5 members of that Commerce Committee were already personal holders of Bitcoin. So when you've got people, as we do in New Hampshire, who are in the state government, who are on these committees, who already are involved in cryptocurrency, you know they're not going to vote to control it. They want the price to keep going up. They want their investment to be a success. So that's one of the keys is, if you have the ability to reach these state reps and such, as we do easily here in New Hampshire, bring them on board. Introduce them to cryptocurrency. Give them their first, $10 worth or $20 worth of Bitcoin. Help hold their hands through it so they can understand more about what it is because they've got some stake in the game at that point. If you want Bitcoin to be protected from government aggression, then it makes the most sense for some of these state reps to understand it personally so they at least aren't going to legislate from a position of ignorance, which of course would be none of us want to see legislation when it comes to Bitcoin. We don't want to see rules created around it. But if there's going to be something created, it would be better for the people who are creating it to understand what they're getting into rather than just across the board try to prohibit something that they don't have any reference for. So my recommendation, if you care about cryptocurrency, you probably should get up, and you're a libertarian, you should probably move to New Hampshire sooner rather than later. In fact, there's going to be a cryptocurrency conference coming up this weekend. Will, you're going to be attending that. I'll be there. Daryl Perry, Chris Reitman, some of our co-hosts, we're going to be going out. We're going to carpool out there, and we'll be broadcasting from that conference on Friday. There's more coming up here. This is Free Talk Live.
When I get to about 3/4, when I get down to the bottom, a couple more scoops, it's time to place my order. Dinovite.com.
Order a 90-day supply of Dinovite for your dog this week.
We'll send you a bottle of Super Mega Fish Oil free.
Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Free this week at Dinovite.com.
If it's working, don't quit. DINOVITE.com.
Earlier this year, after many years of conflict over the direction of Bitcoin, the creators of Bitcoin Cash did just what they were told to do. They forked off. Now there are 2 Bitcoins, the one that is run by the big bank patsies, and Bitcoin Cash, the one that stays true to the creator's vision. Bitcoin Cash has surprised many with its relevancy and staying power, and the price reflects it. If you believe that Bitcoin was meant to be a low-cost, easy-to-use, peer-to-peer currency that could bring economic freedom to the world, you need Bitcoin Cash. Get your Bitcoin Cash wallet right now at bitcoin.com.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1, plus an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Shop online and support Free Talk Live. Every purchase you make at shop.freetalklive.com helps spread a message of liberty. From shop.freetalklive.com, you can shop at places like Walmart, Newegg, Amazon UK, Amazon Canada, Omaha Steaks, HostGator, and more. Plus, you can get discounts on web hosting, legal documents, or pretty much anything using saveatpurse.com. Just bookmark the link and help Free Talk Live while shopping online. Thank you for shopping with shop.freetalklive.com. Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper, FPP News, at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com. Imagine, if you will, a virtual world, a symbiotic economy with its own currency, where you can barter your services with others. Symbi.com is a marketplace of real people exchanging skills and services, from web developers, marketers, video production specialists, and teachers of all sorts, to gaming consulting or fitness coaching. Symbi.com is a vast world of people trading freely. Take my word for it, it's an adventure you can't afford to miss. Simbi.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. You may join us right here. Our toll-free number, should you wish to do that, is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. It's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype. Skype username is LRN.FM. Cryptocurrency, it's in the news again, and it's going to keep being in the news as it continues to grow in its prices. And we're not just talking about Bitcoin, but other ones. As you pointed out, Will, as Bitcoin is just going crazy with its price, the others are also going up as well. People believe in the idea of cryptocurrency being the future of money, I think. At least the ones that are learning about it, they can see the value in the idea of getting money out of the hands of the government, out of the hands of the banks, and putting it in the people's hands. That's the real power. That's the real evolutionary or revolutionary effect of this cryptocurrency. It literally is a massive power transfer.
It's like walking around with a Swiss bank account in your pocket.
That's what Obama said about it, right? Blink Home Security System, by the way, gets delivered to your door. You go to blinkprotect.com/FTL, and you get 3 Blink security cams for what some of the other guys charge for 1 camera. It makes it super easy to get set up with a home security or your small office or whatever system. All you got to do is set it up with your Wi-Fi enabled device, like your tablet or your smartphone. You can do it in like 10 minutes. It's super easy, and you, of course, can customize when it's active. Maybe you're not there during the nighttime hours, so you want to, if it's your office, for instance, you want to make sure that everything's protected. Then whenever something goes in front of the camera during that certain time frame, it'll shoot you a clip over to your smart device, so wherever you are, you get to see what's going on in your home or wherever it is you have the Blink cams. Go to blinkprotect.com/FTL. That's blinkprotect.com/FTL. Let's go to Dave Ridley from RidleyReport.com. You're on the line on Skype. Go ahead, Dave.
Hi, gentlemen.
Hey,
there
Dave.
is an organization that is holding another anti-Free State Project event in New Hampshire.
Oh, right on. Is this the same organization that held the one that happened earlier this year?
Correct.
Okay.
They're called Granite State Progress, and
Right.
they say, quote, "What is the Free State Project? With Granite State Progress," unquote. Join us as we examine the question, what is the Free State Project? Then later on,
What is the Free State Project?
Well, it's like a group of people moving to New Hampshire for more freedom, and they all pledged to become activists for more freedom.
Okay.
Sounds like
So it says,
progress.
quote, I'm sorry, go ahead.
In the Granite State.
And
Well,
by the way,
the
the
Free
Granite
State
State
Project-
Progress people that are, very critical and nasty towards the freedom movement here, because the Free State Project is just one portion of that that overarching migration that's been going on of libertarians coming to New Hampshire. They, at the Granite State Progress, are also people who have come from outside of New Hampshire to try to change New Hampshire.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see where the money came from, too, and how much
I suspect that's also coming from outside of New Hampshire, like George Soros types.
Yeah. Well, they say, quote, a decade ago, the ultra-extreme Free State Project voted on a state.
Ultra-extreme.
Am I? Do I get to finish any of these quotes?
I just love that one. Ultra-extreme. Go ahead, Dave.
Quote, the ultra-extreme Free State Project voted on a state to move 20,000 libertarians to, with the stated purpose to take over the state government and dismantle it. New Hampshire was unfortunately the unlucky recipient of that vote. The Free State Project seeks to create a libertarian utopia void of public infrastructure and common laws, and to use their numbers to dramatically change New Hampshire. The Free State Project even threatens to secede from the rest of the country once it meets its initial goals, unquote.
Which the Free State Project actually doesn't have an official stance, as I understand it, on the idea of secession. But there is certainly some truth to the idea that a lot of the libertarians here are in favor of secession. But a lot of New Hampshire natives are also in favor of secession based on the outreach that I have conducted. But Dave, do you consider yourself, you were a Free Stater, one of the originals, the first earliest movers way back when, back in like 2003 or 2004.
Are you still a Free Stater, or have you been curated?
No, I'm a Free Stater.
Are you ultra extreme? Is that what you consider your position to be?
No, extreme would be a position where you believe so strongly in something that you're willing to force them to pay for it, even though they didn't receive the service.
You mean like what the folks behind Granite State Progress would support?
Yeah, I'm a moderate. I'm someone who thinks that, there's certain things that should be done, and I don't believe in any of them strongly enough to make any bystander do that.
Right. Yeah, I love the idea that people who believe in freedom, the idea that other human beings who are peaceful should be left alone, are being positioned as ultra extreme by these people. And they gave a very lengthy seminar out in Portsmouth earlier this year. Our co-host, former co-host Derek J. Freeman, who we're going to see this weekend in Portsmouth, he wrote a detailed article, actually, which included, I believe, audio and video of the event about what happened at that particular event. Dave, were you in attendance for that?
No, and I meant to download the audio for that and forgot about it. Thank you for reminding me. But there is some news about this one.
Are you going to go to this one? Because I'd love to see Dave Ridley crash this.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
This begs for the Ridley-o, crashing, what do you call it, ambush interview style, where you lurk in the hallways outside of the event and just try to catch every one of these bums that's going in there to give the presentation with a bunch of your questions. I just love those videos.
Yeah, this one probably be at a bad date for me.
Well, you gotta send in Garrett. I mean, he doesn't stand out.
Yeah, weren't you?
I found it.
Yeah, weren't you? This is in Garrett's neighborhood, right? It's up in the Concord region.
Yeah, what I was trying to tell you is that Carla Garrick, the former president of the Free State Project, is planning on going, and she has indicated she may threaten them with legal action, which I don't agree with her doing that. But what she's saying is that she says, "quote this." At least your Facebook post says this. Quote, this, I will attend this one, where I will make it clear that the FSP is not FNHI, and that if they persist in making this claim,
being the Foundation for New Hampshire Independence.
And if they persist in making this claim, legal action may be called for, unquote.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
so that's on December.
I tend to agree that people, should be able to say what they want. Obviously, it's uncomfortable when somebody says things that aren't true, but I think that ultimately everybody's best served by focusing on things that are productive rather than trying to drag people into court for saying things you don't like.
It's December 13th in Bow, which is just south of Concord.
Okay,
Will, did you?
So, it's funny. You said Ian brought up George Soros a moment ago, and I've always kind of found that when you find these big progressive groups, all you have to do is scratch the first layer of paint off, and
you find George Soros.
And you find George Soros under there somewhere. And the director of this Granite State Progress, her name's like Howie Zawalski or something like that.
It starts with a Z.
Yeah,
I forget her name.
She's a former director of America Coming Together.
Mm-hmm.
And America Coming Together.
About Dr. Rice Hawkins?
Hawkins.
Xandra, that's her name,
there we
Xandra.
go.
Maybe Xandra.
She turns out she's actually a former director of a group called America Coming Together, which was primarily funded by insurance mogul Peter Lewis, currency trader George Soros, labor unions, the Employee International Union, and was led by Steve Rosenthal, former political director of the AFL-CIO.
Dave, thanks for the call tonight. It's RidleyReport.com. You can go and check him out online. Appreciate hearing from you, and hopefully some libertarians will get into that event with some video devices, and they'll be able to speak out. More coming up. It's Free Talk Live.
Want revenge on the common housefly? Well, after 10,000 years, someone has finally come up with a better way. The Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic and no batteries required. So much fun, you'll forget you have a wife and kids. $39.95 and free economy shipping. Use discount code GCN and get an extra 10% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Makes the perfect stocking stuffer. Get your Bug Assault today.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Money, power, and respect are all yours at CreditSecretsRevealed.com. Be seen as an industry leader. You can do it. The last application you filled out when it was time to hit submit, did your nerves spike? You didn't get the approval you seek, but there's a better way. We teach you exactly what to place into the right systems the right way the first time so you get approved. Get up to $100,000 in instant business credit. Many people will get cash on the spot. Use those two tools in your new corporate credit engine so you can walk into the bank and get your project funded today. It's all about today at CreditSuccessSecretsRevealed.com. Credit Success Secrets Revealed is explosive and ignites instant results. Dial 1-800-707-8719. That's 1-800-707-8719. 1-800-707-8719. Or just go to CreditSuccessSecretsRevealed.com.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at LRN.FM.
It is Free Talk Live. You can join us right here, toll free, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype with you tonight. It's Ian.
And Johnson of LibertyMinded.com.
And Will.
I haven't mentioned it yet tonight.
Yeah, we'll get into that. If you want to Skype into the show, you can Skype in at username LRN.FM. And let's talk nutritional supplements for a moment. Over 60% of Americans take a nutritional supplement, and for good reason. Nutrient depletion of our soil, coupled with dependence on processed foods, has left most people deficient in essential nutrients. But where do you start? If you visit a naturopath, you'll likely be told a cheap vitamin mineral supplement doesn't cut it. You'll also need probiotics, enzymes, antioxidants, and other nutrients. And by the time it's all said and done, you're buying 5 bottles of product and spending $150 a month. If that's a situation you've experienced, then you need to know about Whole Food Multi-Complete. For 15 years, Whole Food Multi-Complete has been quietly providing what the big guys won't. It's the perfect blend of supplements in a single product. They've taken the expense and complexity out of following a complete supplement program. Visit simplifymysupplements.com to learn more and use coupon code FTL like Free Talk Live to get 10% off of your order. Every time you order, your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back, and they do take Bitcoin. If you want to spend Bitcoin, you do have to shoot them an email and let them know, and they'll get you set up with that. Simplifymysupplements.com, code FTL like Free Talk Live for 10% off. So our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. Will, you've been doing some digging on this group. Granite State Progress is what they're called. It's a progressive group, as you might have guessed, based here in New Hampshire, or ostensibly based in New Hampshire. It appears to be run by people who are outside of New Hampshire or who came from the outside of New Hampshire. The woman who is the head of the organization, I believe her name is Zandra Hawkins, she did not live in New Hampshire prior to being hired as the head of this group, which some suspect has its funding coming from outside of the state. What did you learn, Will, about it?
Well, it says basically they started in 2003.
Oh, okay. Wow.
They put a huge amount of focus on the 2004 election. This is, if you look up, Granite State, and you find this young lady. If you look up Granite State Progress, you find a Netroots profile for their director, and her Netroots profile shows that she used to work for this America Coming Together group, and they were
that was before 2003.
No, yeah, this was since before she worked for Granite State Project.
I'm just going to be wishful and say no relations.
Yeah. Before she worked for
Rice.
Yeah.
Right. Before she worked for Granite State Project, she worked for this America Coming Together group.
Okay.
And basically, in 2004, Frontline did a documentary about them and their unsavory practices in politics. And then in 2005, they didn't renew their website. And then in 2007, the Federal Election Commission put out a press release about the fact that they reached a settlement with ACT for violations of various federal campaign finance laws during that 2004 presidential election, and that they agreed to pay $775,000 in fines for election law finance.
Like fraud or something.
Yeah, well, just basically
violations.
Violating campaign finance laws. Being one kind of thing, and basically working for campaigns in a way that they weren't supposed to be a nonpartisan group while working exclusively for Democrats, that kind of thing. But I mean, this is what you come to expect from George Soros, funded organizations, and now you have her director. I think it's kind of funny. Like, this is a woman who used to work for like an extremely unsavory and not above the board kind of political organization.
Would you call it ultra extreme?
I would definitely call it ultra extreme, but I would also say that it's kind of it's particularly hypocritical, if not ironic, that she is coming from this type of a background, coming to the Granite State, New Hampshire, to lecture New Hampshire folks about the Free State Project as this unsavory and not above the board group, when it's existed for 15 years with none of these violations. It's never had to pay a fine that I know of for any kind of fraud of any kind, whereas she worked for an organization that within its first 12 months committed $775,000 worth of election campaign fraud.
I think it'd be interesting if somebody actually went to their seminar. They're going to have a seminar coming up here. I think he said it was in December at some point. to tell people about the Free State Project and how ultra extreme it is. These libertarians that are moving to New Hampshire to try to dismantle the state government, which, of course, a lot of people in New Hampshire want that. A lot of people in New Hampshire are, these New Hampshire natives. They were born and raised around sort of small government ideas and getting the government out of people's lives, and they have a real strong appreciation for that. The Granite State Progress is trying to appeal to the kind of types of folks who came in from Massachusetts, came in from New York, came in from Vermont, the folks who are not freedom friendly, the ones who want to make New Hampshire a less free place. And so good luck to them. I mean, they're trying their best, but the fact is you don't see a movement of socialists moving into New Hampshire as any kind of organized thing. Yeah, some big government people have moved here over time. Certainly, there's been a migration just inadvertently across the border from Massachusetts, for instance. There's no doubt about those things. But those people are just normal folks. Most of them, a lot of them leave Massachusetts because the government's too big, but then they kind of bring some big government beliefs with them from that state. But the people who move here as part of the New Hampshire freedom migration tend to be a activist type. They tend to be the kind of, now some more active than others, but they tend to be the people who are going to take the steps necessary to actually, contact state representatives or run for state rep or, get out there and create new media like blogs or video and, TV channels, YouTube, radio shows. That's what we're seeing with the libertarians that are migrating here. That's why the libertarians get way more press coverage than Granite State Progress. I mean, Will Coley, since you've been here and it's been coming up on 3 months in a couple weeks, basically. You moved, at the very end of August, early September, I think it was?
We got here mid-September, yeah.
Mid-September, so not even 3 months yet at this point. And you've been on the front page of the newspaper. You've been in multiple newspapers. You've been on the New Hampshire Public Radio.
NBC Boston.
I mean, you've had more, would it be safe to say, you've had more press coverage dedicated to what you've done here in 3 months than you had prior to this living in Tennessee cumulatively.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't count the election, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you did run for vice presidential nomination of the Libertarian Party. You didn't ultimately get it, unfortunately, but
we did get we got
some coverage from that.
We got wider coverage. This is a lot of local coverage, whereas that got me more coverage, but it was because it was a wider net. We were getting coverage from places we'd never got it before.
But locally, as far as covering your libertarian activism, the things that you've done, we get it here in New Hampshire. We get coverage from the mainstream media, and we get it all the time. It's not just a couple months a year. It's every single month almost. You're going to find a libertarian in the news, whether it's on the headline or the front page. I mean, over the summer, we had a front page article about Bitcoin here in the Keene Sentinel that hit the front page there, and that wasn't a paid article. The one that was in the Shopper, which is kind of like the local advertorial paper, that one was paid. The Bitcoin Network here paid to have that ad run. But then it was like the Sentinel just wanted to do their own, just to kind of keep up with the Joneses. So they put up a front page article in one of the weekend editions of the paper, just a glowing article about Bitcoin. It wasn't even critical about Bitcoin. So, if you want to actually have an impact, then you got to go where the other libertarians are already having an impact, because everywhere else libertarians are ignored. Nobody cares what the libertarians are doing because they're not a threat. They're not a threat to the state. They're not a threat to any office holder. But here the libertarians are getting elected. They're getting elected as Republicans and Democrats. They're actually working to roll back the government. That's actually a thing. They're stopping bad new big government programs from being created. And they're influencing the discussion.
And that's all you see on the Granite State Progress website is them complaining about the fact
successes.
That, they're like, oh no, they're the libertarians in the state. They won again. They're rolling back gun regulations in our state. You have to call Governor Sununu and tell him to veto this because we don't want people to have guns. They're scary.
Right. This is what happens when the libertarians actually make an impact somewhere. Guess what? The statists are going to rally against you. It's not going to be an easy road, but at least we're on the road here and having successes. You can join us. There's more coming up.
Whether you share content as a curator or produce it as a creator, the source of your advertising revenue is often limited by intermediaries like YouTube. What if there was a way to connect content creators directly with advertisers, decentralizing attention-based market advertising transactions, and putting the control back into the hands of content owners? Introducing the revolutionary Signal Token Protocol by Spective VR. Partnered with Blend Media, the largest network of 360 video content in the world, and featured on Fox Business's Innovations, Spective VR is a 360 VR streaming platform created to be the first use case and early adopter of the Signal Token Protocol, driving real use and allowing Spective to optimize their platform. SpectiveVR.com is hosting a pre-ICO for Signal tokens starting December 8th at a 40% bonus. For early access to the token sale and an exclusive 60% token bonus, sign up for the email list at SpectiveVR.com.
A commemorative President Trump dollar for only $5? Yes, the historic Trump dollar starts at only $5 at TrumpDollar.us. Choose from our unique 3-coin collection in gold, silver, and copper. The Vote Trump dollar, Inaugural Trump dollar, and Make America Great Again Trump dollar. Available only at TrumpDollar.us. Minted in the USA, our Trump dollars commemorate President Trump's patriotic stand. Order your Trump dollar collection today in time for Christmas delivery at TrumpDollar.us. That's TrumpDollar.us.
This just in. Before your doctor gives you another antibiotic prescription that you don't want, get this free report, The Miracle of Garlic, your first home medicine. This free report is filled with easy kitchen remedies for common colds, flus, sore throats, ear infections, and more. Plus, learn to boost your immunity before you get sick. Go now to gcnwellness.com. Just like it sounds, gcnwellness.com to get your free report, The Miracle of Garlic. Click gcnwellness.com.
Understanding your credit score is the first step towards managing and improving it. This is Charlie Sundstrom with your Van Dyke Mortgage Minute. The most influential component of your credit score is your payment history. Almost equally as important is the amount you owe on credit accounts. Also impacting your score, but to a lesser degree, are the length of time you've utilized your credit, the number of new accounts, credit inquiries, and your various types of credit accounts. To help achieve or maintain a healthy credit score, have a system set up to assure your bills are always paid on time. Don't max out your cards. It's better to have a high credit limit with a low balance. Never close old accounts. The age of these can actually help your credit score. But don't be afraid to use your credit. You need several accounts in order to have a credit score. Just keep the corresponding payments within your means. For your mortgage pre-approval and refi needs, start by visiting VanDykeMortgage.com.
Corporate NMLS 3035. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Charlie Sundstrom, NMLS 134251.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Me. Visit fr33aid.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You dial toll free. Join us on the radio. Our number is 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have Skype, and the Skype username is LRN.FM. With you in the studio tonight, you've got Ian.
And Johnson.
And Will.
Also, I want to let you know about, we were talking about the New Hampshire freedom migration, the libertarians that are coming to New Hampshire, as the three of us have done. Will, you're the newest of the group here in the studio. Johnson, you moved back in 2012.
Yes.
I moved back in 2006. Our caller earlier, Dave Ridley, I think he moved in 2004. So there's been a long line of libertarian, voluntarist, anarchist activists who've come here And we've still got thousands more who have pledged to make the move up here, just as part of the Free State Project alone. Then you've also got the Shire Society, which recruits people to join and make a move without joining any kind of centralized organization. So if you prefer to avoid, boards of directors and all of that stuff that comes with that, you can join the Shire Society over at shiresociety.com. You can read the Shire Society Declaration there and get details about moving on up here, as well as connect with others on the Shire Society forums, which include the Free Talk Live forum. So be sure you check that out, all of it over at shiresociety.com. Somebody linked over, I made a Facebook post today about the price of Bitcoin hitting $10,000 per Bitcoin, and I asked the question, well, if it's $10,000 today and it was $1,000 a year ago, roughly, what's it going to be in another year? Are we going to see a $100,000 Bitcoin in another year? I mean, of course, there's no reason to believe that the 1,000% increase that happened this year is going to be duplicated next year. It could go up slower. It could go down. It could go up faster. I mean, who knows what it's going to look like at the end of 2018? But there was a prediction apparently made by someone claiming to be a time traveler from the future. Have you heard about this?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had not seen this before, but it was written 4 years ago on r/Bitcoin, which is a Reddit subcategory. And Luca Magnotta is the author here, claiming, I am sending this message from the year 2025. Things are looking bleak here, and some of you will carry blood on your hands. If you don't believe me, please move on, as I have no way of proving to you I'm really who I claim to be. I don't want to waste any of your time, so I'm merely going to explain what happened. On average, every year so far, the value of Bitcoin has increased by a factor of about 10, from 10 cents in 2001 to $1 in 2011 in 2010, to $1 in 2011, to $10 in 2012, to $100 in 2013. From now on, there's a slight slowdown as the value increased by a factor of 10 every 2 years, to $1,000 in 2015, to $10,000 in 2017, $100,000 in 2019, and $1 million per Bitcoin in 2021. Now, so far, that's a pretty accurate statement as far as the time frame. He says from here onwards, there's no good way of expressing its value in dollars, as the dollar is no longer used, nor is any central bank issuing currency for that matter. Now, that seems a little optimistic. I mean, this person is predicting the demise of the U.S. dollar and all central banking within the next 7 years. It would be a wonderful thing to see all fiat currencies die, but I don't think that's going to happen. No matter. Let's continue on with the predictions here. He claims that there are two main forms of wealth in today's world, land and cryptocurrency. There are just over 19 million Bitcoin known to be used in the world today, as well as a few 100,000 that were permanently lost. All right, so that's the first thing that I've noticed is wrong here. There was actually a story very recently that I believe said that there are more than 1 million Bitcoins that are just completely lost. That if you want to quick Google it, I think it was maybe more than like a few million.
That's what I had heard.
Bitcoin.
A few million, yeah.
Like 3 or 4 million Bitcoins. Now there's 16 point something, close to 17 million Bitcoins in circulation today. So what you're talking about is maybe about 10 to 12 million of that 16 is actually accessible by people. The rest of them have been lost. Now what does that mean? Maybe it's people who bought Bitcoin a long time ago, but then forgot where they put their, private keys, where they, store because like when you get a Bitcoin wallet and you set it up for the first time, it'll usually have you go through a backup process. It'll tell you, write these words down, and it'll give you 12 words, and you're supposed to put those in a very safe place. Well, if somebody doesn't do the backup and then they lose their phone, or if they did the backup, but, for whatever reason, they didn't put the backup words in a safe place or forgot where they put them or something, and they lose their phone or lose access to their password on whatever system they've got, that Bitcoin's gone and you can never get it back.
Right.
There's no administrator that can go in there and unlock the account for you.
I was talking to somebody recently who had put, I'll share this anonymously, is that they had stored their private key in a safety deposit box.
Oh.
And they had ceased paying the safety deposit box and not updated the address or something like that.
Yeah.
And so, the bank employees found this, piece of paper with random words on it and just thought it was trash.
Oh.
And that's it.
That's the end of that.
30 Bitcoin.
Ow.
Wow.
Ouch.
That's a lot of money these
Yeah,
days.
but you have the same thing with cash. You know, you have people that bury money in their back. I mean, how many millions upon millions of dollars are stuffed in a mattress that's in a landfill now? Or,
I don't know.
In the back of the back plate of a freezer. Right? Yeah, because especially old folks, like people from the old, like they hide their money in because
they don't trust the banks.
They don't trust the banks. They know what their parents went through and like how all these farms and all this wealth was taken by the banks, stolen by the banks in their younger years. So they don't trust them. So they stuffed mattresses. They hid it under floorboards. Like how much of that stuff is out there and has like houses built on top of it now and is never going to be accessible? So you have the same thing in cash. So I mean, to me, that's just like a cool little factoid, but like how it will affect the Bitcoin market at all is like nil.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I mean, you could argue that if there were more Bitcoin circulating, that the price would go down. And that having this is essentially tantamount to deflation, right? Because even though Bitcoins are still being mined, and they will continue to be mined into existence until there are 21 million of them, and again, there are over 16-something million of them right now, so having 4 million of those disappear from potential for even circulating is, to some extent, some deflationary pressure, right?
Well, the $1 million a Bitcoin prediction.
Right, they predict by 2021.
That's going to come from the pop that comes when we finally hit, the maximum amount of Bitcoin that we created. When you hit
that won't be in 2021. That's going to be in 2040.
Really? It will take that long?
Yeah, it's going to slow down.
Oh.
So Bitcoin slows down over time. So the first, back when Bitcoin came out, the mining rewards per block were 50 Bitcoin. Then they went down to 25. Then they went down to where they are now, which is 12.5. So I think it's going to be like 3 more years, I think at the current rate, somewhere 2020, 2021, where it's going to go from 6.5 to 3.25 Bitcoin at that point. And so over time, the difficulty of Bitcoin mining gets higher as more people enter the competition for mining Bitcoin, and the reward for the mining gets smaller, at least in the amount of Bitcoin, right? Because back in 2011 or 2010,
transaction fees.
When it was 50 Bitcoin that you were mining, you weren't getting a whole lot of money out of that. But 6.5 Bitcoin today, or excuse me, 12.5 Bitcoin is a lot of money today for anybody that finds those blocks. Yeah. Let's talk to Daryl. He's in Austin, Texas. We'll get back to more of the alleged time travelers' predictions about what's going to happen in moments. Daryl, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yes, well, actually, I bought Bitcoin a while back, I think once, back in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought it because you guys have mentioned I finally went down and bought it, and I got some, and I was having problems with the software to get it to download. It finally worked. It was just an issue with, I think, my OS or something. But I think when it went up to 1,000, I went and bought something with it, and I forgot about it, and I finally found it. And what's really funny is I was trying to open my wallet. Some of the Bitcoin programs I was trying to use wouldn't open it because it was trying to have me put a password in it when I didn't have a password on mine. So I finally found a wallet that would actually say, okay, you don't have a password, so it's going to open anyway.
Cool.
So which was kind of good. For a minute there, I thought I lost my password. I was going to have to do a brute force attack.
Oh, boy. So you found it, though.
Yeah.
All right, were you calling to tell us something else, or just
didn't have a password? And all the other programs I was using for some reason thought I had a password. I had to use the Bitcoin Core wallet
Gotcha.
to open it, because Bitcoin Core wallet goes, okay, if you don't have a password, then you don't have a password, then it'll open.
Daryl, I don't know if you were calling about something else besides the good news, if that you found your password. If so, hang on. We can There's more coming up here in moments. This is Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is on the way.
It's It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
You're right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $9.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees, ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, November 27th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.12 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,295 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 4.3 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,671. Antiwar.com reports the Palestinian threat to retaliate by severing all diplomatic ties with the U.S. appears to have worked, and officials have confirmed that the U.S. has backtracked on a previous order for the Palestinian Liberation Organization to close its offices in Washington, D.C. The State Department regularly has to offer temporary permits to keep the office open, and after previously saying they would not do so to punish the Palestinians for joining the International Criminal Court, they've since granted them another 90-day permit to stay open. The State Department is trying to save face, however, saying that while they're letting the PLO stay open, they have advised the PLO office to limit its activity to only those specifically related to peace talks. Israel is mad at the Palestinians for joining the ICC, and Israel is not a party to the ICC, which is their way of trying to avoid facing court for war crimes, but the Palestinians' membership gives the ICC jurisdiction over Palestinian territories.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports photo-sharing website Imgur confirmed 1.7 million email addresses and passwords were stolen during a breach in 2014. Imgur released a blog post on Friday notifying users of the breach after attackers possibly cracked the website's password encryption algorithm. The post stated, "While we are still actively investigating the intrusion, we wanted to inform you as quickly as possible as to what we know and what we are doing in response." Troy Hunt, who runs the data breach notification site Have I Been Pwned, notified notified Imgur of the breach on Thursday after he was sent the data that included the information of Imgur users. The company said he simultaneously notified Imgur's founder and CEO and vice president of engineering. Our vice president of engineering then arranged to securely receive the data from the researcher and began working to validate the data belonged to Imgur users. After being notified of the breach, the company began resetting passwords of the affected accounts. Imgur said the information stolen in the breach did not include any personally identifying information such as real names, addresses, or phone numbers, as the site has never asked users to provide such information. While noting the incident is still under investigation, Imgur Chief Operating Officer Roy Siegel said attackers may have cracked the site's password encryption through brute force due to the older SHA-256 algorithm, which has since been updated. Imgur encouraged users to use different email and password combinations for all of their online accounts and to reset passwords that may have been affected by the breach. Hunt praised Imgur for quickly responding to the news of the breach despite learning of it during a holiday.
Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Spendabit.co.
Reuters reports Black Friday and Thanksgiving online sales in the United States surged to record highs as shoppers bagged deep discounts and bought more on their mobile devices, heralding a promising start to the key holiday season, according to retail analytics firms. U.S. retailers raked in a record $7.9 billion in online sales on Black Friday and Thanksgiving, up 17.9% from 1 year ago, according to Adobe Analytics, which measures transactions at the largest 100 U.S. web retailers. Adobe said Cyber Monday is expected to drive $6.6 billion in internet sales, which would make it the largest U.S. online shopping day in history. In the run-up to the holiday weekend, traditional retailers invested heavily in improving their websites and bulking up delivery options, preempting a decline in visits to brick-and-mortar stores. Commerce marketing firm Criteo said 40% of Black Friday online purchases were made on mobile phones, up from 29% last year. No brick-and-mortar sales data for Thanksgiving or Black Friday was immediately available. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Caitlin Taggart was a beautiful, lively girl who loved laughing and playing outside, but all that changed at the age of 12. Caitlin slipped into a persistent vegetative state, confining her almost entirely to her bed and Facebook.
She doesn't even have basic motor functions anymore. We literally have to drag her to the car to drive her to school in the morning.
She's totally unresponsive when we talk to her. Her eyes just roll back in her head.
Caitlin, honey, it's your dad.
With no hope that their daughter would ever recover, the Taggarts decided to seek legal permission to end Caitlin's life.
It is the most difficult decision we've ever had to make, but we just keep reminding ourselves that the real Caitlin is already gone. That's just her body texting.
We give her one painless injection, and that's it. Her eyes may flutter a bit, or she may murmur, "Are you for real killing me right now?"
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live, you dial. Toll free to join us on the radio if you want. Our third hour is what we are launching into right now as Bitcoin. It's been the topic of conversation here for quite a while on Free Talk Live. It's heading up toward the $10,100 level. Not quite there yet, but at $10,082 right now, according to BitcoinAverage.com. Maybe we won't see four-digit Bitcoin ever again after the next couple of weeks. It might dip down a little bit here and there as it has throughout the day today, but it's just been on an upward trend, and it's been amazing to watch. However, somebody who claims to be from the future, the year 2025, has posted on Reddit a dire warning about what they say is coming in the future in cryptocurrency. We'll share the rest of that warning with you here in moments, but let's go first to Daryl in Austin, Texas, watching us at cam.freetalklive.com. Go ahead, Daryl.
Yeah, the thing about Bitcoin is I think Bitcoin's going up also because the value of the dollar is going down. So
that's a common meme that you see, and it's funny. Like I forget which meme character it is. It's the guy from Futurama, the Futurama character, and it's like him looking kind of quizzical or concerned, and the headline is like, not sure if Bitcoin going up in value or if the dollar or fiat currency is going down.
But I think that isn't the only reason why it's going down. This may just be one of the reasons why the Bitcoin is going up. I think Bitcoin's going up because it's being more accepted.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
There's so many things that's good about Bitcoin.
The dollar is going to go down in value. I mean, there's no doubt about that, but it's not going down in value at the level that the Bitcoin is going up in value, because you can still go out and, buy a house for X, and it's probably not that far off from what you could have bought that same house for last year. Whereas Bitcoin has gone up 1,000%. Will, did you want to jump in? Okay. Go ahead, Daryl.
Yeah, one of my friends on Facebook, I haven't met her in person, but we're in the same business together, and she's always posting, hey, Bitcoin's this much, Bitcoin's this much. And I didn't even know she knew about Bitcoin until she started posting that. I was surprised. I'm surprised at the people who do know about Bitcoin, and sometimes surprised about the people who, especially in the tech field, who don't know about it, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. You can't judge a book by its cover when it comes to who might be interested in Bitcoin. I remember when Derek J. and actually Chris Cantwell, back when he was a libertarian and not a terrible racist, when we were doing Bitcoin outreach at the county fair. And, you come across all kinds of people at the county fair. You got old people, you got young people, you got kids, you got families, you got, all kinds of folks, people that are living out in the woods, people that are city dwellers. You got a bunch of folks coming out to the county fair. And given a limited amount of time, given a limited capacity to talk to people at any given time, if I had to choose, I would choose, like if I only get to talk to one person and walking toward the booth, I'm the only person at the booth, and walking toward the booth is an elderly person and a younger person, I'm going to pitch the younger person just because they're going to be around longer, and it seems like a younger person might be more receptive to new technology. But you'd be surprised how many older people in retirement age or older are actually genuinely interested in this technology. Whether it's because they want to buy it for their kids as a Christmas present, or because they know they've got some money. They don't trust the banks, like you were talking about, Will. They've been around long enough to know what it's like to get screwed by the banks, and they see this as a way to possibly, earn some more money for their retirement or their kids' retirement or whatever. Anyway, Daryl, any other thoughts you want to share?
Yeah, also I see that Alan Greenspan, who had actually helped write articles for one of Ayn Rand's books, Capitalism, has been coming out against Bitcoin.
He has, yeah.
When you're bringing out Alan Greenspan out to attack something,
that's a big gun.
Yeah, that's a big gun. Either you know something we don't, which could be, or the fact that they are scared to death of this thing because it's just showing what the problem with these fiat currencies are. And I mean, if you have a collapse of the dollar and the number of countries that use the dollar as a basis, such as my wife's home country, Uruguay, or the Bahamas, and a few other countries like Zimbabwe also use the dollar as a basis, it would completely wreck their economy. And so these guys are maybe running scared.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Bitcoin, if you think about one of the things that it's done very successfully, is it's given the average person a choice in money, meaning that your choices previously were all fiat, or you could get gold and silver and hold on to it, because nobody's going to really be able to trade gold and silver in any meaningful fashion unless you're at a libertarian conference or something like that. So the average person couldn't really do anything as far as money. I mean, you can diversify as far as assets. You can have some real estate. You can have stocks. You can have, different investments. But as far as money, the ability to transact business between one person or another, or a store and an individual or whatever, it's always been you use fiat currency, or some more convenient supposed version of fiat currency, right? So the actual cash being the fiat currency, or credit cards being a more convenient version, or PayPal. You're still using the government's money, whether you're using the US dollar, whether you're using the British pound, the euro, or the yen, or whatever. Bitcoin was the first other alternative, the first alternative to give people a choice, and not only just any old choice, but a choice that actually devolves power from the old power structures in banking and government down to the individual. And that is, it's hard to really explain to somebody who's maybe brand new to this concept, but you really need to stop for a moment. If you're new to cryptocurrency, stop for just a moment and think about how big of a change that is. For every single, time, the generations that are still alive and the generations before them, it's always been government banker money. And now you have a choice. Now you have a choice to take power out of the hands of the government and the bankers and put it in the hands of the people. Every dollar, every euro, whatever fiat currency, you name it, every Zimbabwean, whatever they're calling them now, the Venezuelan bolivar, every single one of those that goes into Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency is one less dollar that the governments have control over. They no longer have control over that money as soon as that transition is made. And that's one of the main motivators for us at the Malik Center for using cryptocurrency is that that every dollar you spend, our dollars are petro war dollars. So if you are spending greenbacks or whatever paper worthless fiat that you have in your blood
pocket,
on your hands.
Yeah, you're supporting the Saudi government because they're involved in the petrodollar. So all the horrible things they're doing in Yemen, all the horrible things they do to women, all of that you are financially contributing to because you're strengthening their state through the petrodollar. Everything our government does, the bombings, the assisting Saudi in oppressing and bombing Yemen, the bombing Pakistan, the dropping bombs on Doctors Without Borders hospitals, all of that comes from the petro war dollar. And every time you spend one, you strengthen it, you help it, you further its ability to continue to do what it does. So what we want to do, I've bought almost our entire Islamic library with cryptocurrencies.
It's awesome. Through Save It Purse.
Yeah, almost children's. We have a children's library. Almost all of that's been cryptocurrencies.
Daryl, thanks for calling and sharing your thoughts here tonight. Appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. It's hard to really explain how big of a paradigm shift. I mean, we're talking about a paradigm shift, meaning that things that were one way, they're now completely different as far as the money situation in the world is concerned. And it's hard to really grasp how important of a change that is, to make it so individuals have control over money and that there's competition within that marketplace, because it's not just Bitcoin. Because if the Bitcoin team screws up the programming of Bitcoin, which arguably it has, even though the price keeps going up, it's not working the way it used to. If the Bitcoin team screws it up, they got 1,000 competitors breathing down their neck right now that would love that top spot.
Bitcoin's the beginning of a type 1 economy.
I want you to tell me what that means coming up here in moments, because that's new to me. Type 1 economy. More coming up here. This is Free Talk Live.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1, plus an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Do you want to help build a better financial system for everyone? Join Dash. Dash is Digital Cash, a digital money platform designed to replace cash and help people manage their own wealth. It's fast and easy, fees are low, and transactions are confirmed instantly. Dash is decentralized, run by users who earn rewards for helping run the network and make governance decisions. Dash is set up to succeed where other platforms have failed. Give it a try at dash.org. Help people take control over their financial future today. Find out more at dash.org.
Earlier this year, after many years of conflict over the direction of Bitcoin, the creators of Bitcoin Cash did just what they were told to do. They forked off. Now there are two Bitcoins, the one that is run by the big bank patsies, and Bitcoin Cash, the one that stays true to the creator's vision. Bitcoin Cash has surprised many with its relevancy and staying power, and the price reflects it. If you believe that Bitcoin was meant to be a low-cost, easy-to-use, peer-to-peer currency that could bring economic freedom to the world, you need Bitcoin Cash. Get your Bitcoin Cash wallet right now at bitcoin.com.
Shop online and support Free Talk Live. Every purchase you make at shop.freetalklive.com helps spread a message of liberty. From shop.freetalklive.com, you can shop at places like Walmart, Newegg, Amazon UK, Amazon Canada, Omaha Steaks, HostGator, and more. Plus, you can get discounts on web hosting, legal documents, or pretty much anything using saveatpurse.com. Just bookmark the link and help Free Talk Live while shopping online. Thank you for shopping with shop.freetalklive.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1. Share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Toll House Refrigerated Cookie Dough. Who would you bake some love for? Find fun and easy baking ideas at tollhouse.com. Kids love doing arts and crafts projects, especially when you join in. Try channeling all that artistic energy into the kitchen and bake up some creative treats together. Think of your art supplies as the frosting, sprinkles, and decorating gels, and use cookies or cupcakes as your canvas. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live, and of course you can bring up whatever you want. Just dial toll-free to join us here at 855-450-FREE like freedom. It's 855-450-3733. Joining you here tonight, it's Ian.
And Johnson.
And Will.
We're talking about the paradigm shift that is Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Johnson's going to tell us a little bit more about that with the Type 1 economy. But first, Johnson, I want you to tell me about how things are going over at libertyminded.com.
Sure. So I've been surprised at the products that are selling. So my circular reasoning of government shirt has been like by far and away the most popular shirt.
It's a brilliant shirt.
Well, I mean, I guess.
I liked it.
It's surprising to me. I mean, the designs, I mean, I look at it in terms of design, and it's a busy design. But I mean,
that's true.
It
takes a while to read it.
Yeah, it has a lot to say. But I mean, I guess that sort of crazy circular reasoning, crazy look to the design works for it. But other than that, it's been running along sort of swimmingly.
This is the new website that you put online about a week or so ago, libertyminded.com. It's where not only can you get the official Free Talk Live gear, like hoodies and T-shirts and hats and beanie caps, you can get that stuff, But you can also get new designs because those are old designs. I mean, we made that logo years ago, and some of the clothing itself has been around for a while. But it hasn't been available online for many years. So it's the first time the official Free Talk Live gear is back available online.
And there's still time to order for the holidays.
There certainly is. So get over to libertyminded.com because that's where you get that cool stuff. And most of it's in either black or yellow, so kind of like the ANCAP colors.
Well, the Free Talk Live stuff.
Right, the Free Talk Live stuff.
Free Talk Live
That's
stuff
what I was talking about. Then there's this other stuff that you're talking about, which is more like kind of liberty-oriented stuff, that designs you've come up with.
I'm branching out, and I'm constantly adding products. I'm constantly coming up with ideas. So I've been adding stuff as fast as I can.
How have the sales been as far as like cryptocurrency versus, say, PayPal credit card?
Mostly PayPal, surprisingly, so far.
All right.
Despite me selling a shirt that says, I accept cryptocurrencies.
It's only because he hasn't brought me my hat yet. My ears are still cold.
Are you gonna pay? What are you gonna pay in?
What do you want? You want Vertcoin? You want Litecoin? You want
He can take a bunch of them too. Like, how many different
can.
cryptos did you enable for the site as far as people paying with crypto?
Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Dash, Ripple, Monero.
You just need to have
Zcash.
like a built-in shapeshift.
Well, he's just accepting them natively.
I could do that, but I don't want to shapeshift. I don't want the fees.
It takes too long. Shapeshift takes too long.
I don't want to shapeshift, and I don't want the fees. I want to accept directly.
Yeah.
And then I'll just hodl.
So you're not even converting? You're not taking like some small little coin and converting it to something you like better? You're going to hold all of them?
I'm holding the ones that I want to accept. I'm not going to like deal with the small ones until I like if I get requests.
So like
for
if say a caller is like me and they hold like 7 or 8 different small ones and they're like, hey, I've got $50 in Vertcoin. They're worth like
maybe
$4
if I get
each.
enough
Can I get
people,
a couple hats?
Like if I see some sort of like really good news about Vertcoin, or I see some other people that are starting to pick up Vertcoin, then yeah, maybe.
So if it's in demand, or what you perceive as was it demand? So what's the number one crypto that people are paying with? I mean, even though you said most people are doing PayPal,
number one being one.
Only one order with crypto so far?
One order with crypto so far, and it's been Litecoin.
Wow. Wow. People are holding, right? They don't want to spend it.
Yeah.
This is one of the biggest problems with cryptocurrency becoming usable, is that if it goes up in value, then people are like, oh, I'm not spending that.
So what's also interesting is I've had a couple of orders, but I mean, I've had a lot of people put that. I've got a shirt that says it says Dash cryptocurrency just got 20% cooler, but it's the dash behind the dash is a rainbow.
Yeah.
So it's like so that the dash text is appearing in rainbow, and so it's a reference to My Little Pony, the TV show or whatever.
Oh, I thought it was pro-gay.
Well, you could take it that way if you want to take it that way, but originally it's a My Little Pony reference because there's a character called Rainbow Dash. So it's just meant to be kind of funny.
Oh, so My Little Pony people will get it as a My Little Pony reference.
So
but everybody else will think it's just, pro-gay.
What's
Dash is pro-gay.
strange is it's like that's the second most popular shirt in terms of people putting it in their cart and then like deciding that they don't want to get it or something. I don't know, but it's yeah. So it's
that's cool that you get those statistics to know what people put in but don't actually end up completing.
The next step might be to set an abandoned cart email, be like, hey.
I've seen those before.
Yeah, I've got the ability to do it, but I also have to decide,
is that annoying or is it helpful?
Yeah, I don't really know. Is it helpful or is it annoying? And that's kind of what I need to determine, and maybe, I don't know.
Well, you can ask the amplifiers, and then they might tell you what they think about it.
Yeah,
get a little feedback
Yeah.
from them. Sometimes the Free Talk Live amps are our sounding boards. Like, hey, we threw out an idea, see if the amplifiers like it, and then kind of
maybe
go
I'll
from
just
there.
make it do an abandoned cart email, but put a massive delay on it, like 2 weeks. So that way it's actually just also a reminder email like, hey,
come back.
Did you? Yeah.
So check out libertyminded.com, cool t-shirts and more, all there, including the Free Talk Live gear. So go and check out the designs and order with whatever payment method you prefer. Now, Johnson, you had said just before we went to break, Bitcoin is the first stage, was it, of what you called a Type 1 economy?
Right, yes.
And what is a Type 1 economy? That's a term I am not familiar with. I can't say I've ever come across it. Will, have you heard of the Type 1 economy before? So do you happen to know offhand what defines that?
It's based on now I'm frantically Googling.
I was trying to stall there.
So it's based on the Kardashev scale, which is a scale that talks about the energy consumption of a global civilization. So a type 1 civilization would be a planetary civilization, which can use and store all of the energy which reaches its planet from its parent star, right? So
And Bitcoin's a part of that somehow?
Yes.
How come?
So, okay.
What's that have to do
the
with
necessity of energy to create currency?
Yeah.
So,
but it's not sunlight that's mining Bitcoin.
So you have
It is in China.
So you have a type 1 civilization on the Kardashev scale, right?
Uh-huh.
So a type 1 civilization on the Kardashev scale would basically you need global systems in order to get to a type 1 civilization.
Are you talking about like global government?
Well, global government or no government would be an equally acceptable global government system, right? So, in other words, something that could work on a global scale. So, the internet is the first type 1
I see.
Communication system.
Okay.
So, it's a global communication system. So, it's the first type 1 civilization
Mostly
aspect
global.
that has been developed, essentially.
I mean, there's some countries that don't have a whole lot of
that's
internet.
because of government. That's because of pre-type 1 thinking that has
Okay.
gotten in the way, right?
All
That's
right.
interrupting the type 1 global system.
So because
has been
Bitcoin is the first truly international currency, you're saying that's what also
would be-
qualifies it.
I would think I would qualify it as being a type 1,
Okay, I'll buy
economic
that.
system.
What's
So,
okay.
and that would probably be, it's probably between the internet and Bitcoin, those are going to be the things that result in, a type 1 government, a type 1 governance system, which in my opinion is no government.
That would be nice.
That's my opinion of what we're heading towards. That's what we're going to have to head towards, because the idea of a single government structure ruling over the entire planet, to me, is ridiculous. It's not going to happen.
Well, and this time traveler, the person claiming to be a time traveler from 2025, posting on Reddit 4 years ago, also believes that government is going to be eliminated, although he claims it's going to be by the year 2025,
Right.
which seems a little optimistic. But who knows? 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. We invite you to join us.
Humans are very bad at thinking exponentially.
Fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. I'm talking thick, meaty, center-cut presidential bacon. Savory and delicious. I buy some, I use some, I store some. Awesome. No refrigeration needed with a 10-year shelf life. NASA pack technology. Bacon. Fully cooked, fully hydrated, ready to eat right from the packed bacon. Or warm and served. Life-saving, ready-to-eat bacon. 10-year shelf life bacon. Ships free at fullycookedbacon.com. Fullycookedbacon.com.
This just in. Before your doctor gives you another antibiotic prescription that you don't want, get this free report, The Miracle of Garlic, your first home medicine. This free report is filled with easy kitchen remedies for common colds, flus, sore throats, ear infections, and more. Plus, learn to boost your immunity before you get sick. Go now to gcnwellness.com. Just like it sounds, gcnwellness.com to get your free report, The Miracle of Garlic. Click gcnwellness.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. We invite you to join us on the radio waves. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have Skype, and our Skype username is lrn.fm. Here in the studio with you tonight, you've got Ian.
And Johnson.
And Will.
So you can join us here, bring up anything that's on your mind. Let's go to the phones, to the fun. Daniel's in Albuquerque, listening to KABQ. Hey, Daniel.
Howdy.
Hey, what's on your mind?
I was just calling in reference to a previous caller that had called about socialism, and you guys had sort of chuckled about his discussion about USSR and racism and sexism and homophobia, and the theory behind that is that when the working class is no longer divided by capitalists, then your racism will, and sexism and homophobia will diminish, because Cuba has the most inclusive female president or led in their government. They have, it's I think 46% of their representation is women, and also there was a famous black actor who visited the Soviet Union, and he said that it was amazing to see a country where racism basically did not exist.
Well, those are interesting, claims. To me, it doesn't really seem to matter very much if 47% of the state representatives are women, if everybody's starving. I'm not really sure, why that would be valuable in that particular circumstance.
Actually,
I'm looking
Cubans get a 2,000 calorie a day diet guaranteed.
Okay, well, I'm looking at a gay publication here called Pink News. And they are discussing Fidel Castro. And it says here, homosexuals were viewed as inherently counter-revolutionary, and homosexuality was declared a, quote, deviation incompatible with the revolution by Castro's regime. LGBT people, particularly gay men, were routinely sent to prison without charge or trial by the state, and in 1965, the regime established prison work camps known as military units to aid production, where homosexuals, Jehovah's Witnesses, and other undesirables were forcibly sent to weed them out of society. Sounds like just a grand equality, egalitarian, wonderful land, they may as well live in Saudi Arabia.
How does that history turn into this revisionist version of everything was just great for gay folks in the Soviet Union? I mean, come on, Daniel.
The fact that leftism co-opted the gay community.
I don't know specifics about the gay community in Soviet or
Okay. Well, there you just got a few specifics right there. Will just shared them with you.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about it?
No, my knowledge is more about race and sex.
All right, well, let's talk about those things then. So even if what you're saying is true, and I have no reason to believe it, because what I've seen is that when the government tries to force equality between people, you actually get people resenting that. So there are some people who get angry about the fact that the government is taking their, the money that they've earned from them and giving it to other people who they don't believe have earned it. So you may actually be dividing people further by doing something like that. But let's go ahead and grant you what your claim is that everything will just be wonderful, or that people will have less of, because you didn't say everything would be wonderful. You said people would have less of racism or whatever after communism. Let's go ahead and grant you that. The objection that I would have is that even if that were true, even if that ostensible goal were attainable through communism, I still would not support your system because it forces people against their will to participate. Is that what you're talking about when you talk about communism, the way it's always been done, which is to say that everyone must participate in it?
Yes.
Yeah. See, that's the problem I have, is when you want to use the aggressive force against your neighbor to force them to do something against their will. I don't see how that's going to build any bridges between people.
Well, not only that, but again, facts and reality have to be weighed into the conversation, and we're back to, real people with real experiences. You have Oscar alias Bassett, who wrote to Coretta Scott King in 1999 discussing the plight of blacks in Cuban society under communism, and he says the black Cuban has a very low political, economic, and judicial representation in contrast to the numerous prevailing black penal population. Oh my God, it sounds like America, just like it is today. But this is Cuba in 1999.
So recently, Froma's Cuba travel guidebook warns that black female tourists can have a hard time entering hotels and restaurants because they are sometimes mistaken for Cuban prostitutes by the security forces.
Yeah, sounds real egalitarian there.
Oh my God.
Daniel, any comments? Go ahead.
And to comment about your point about separating people because people resent their stuff being taken.
Yeah.
Why is it that the majority of USSR citizens voted to keep the communist government after it fell?
I don't know. I never heard that before. I don't know if that's true either. But even if what you're saying is true, I mean, just because a majority of people say something doesn't mean it's right.
Well, we've got a study here that was done by Mark Q. Sawyer called Racial Politics in Post-Revolutionary Cuba. So this is discussing mindsets in Cuba immediately after the revolution and showing that now these revolutionary government is now in power, and still a majority, 58% of white Cubans believed that blacks were, quote, less intelligent than whites, and 69% said they were devoid of decency. So again, we're back to the facts on the ground show that literally everything that you are saying is not true, that it's based on some pipe dream. Your sociology professor told you that this is the way things really are, and you just listened. You didn't go out and do the digging yourself. You allowed the thinking to be done for you, no different than any Fox News listener.
Daniel, thanks for the call tonight. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. Let's talk to Andrew calling from Detroit. Andrew, are you listening to us on the radio in Detroit?
I am listening to you on iHeartRadio.
Okay. Listening online.
50 Albuquerque.
Okay. You're tuned to KABQ out in Albuquerque. Okay, go ahead with your thoughts.
I have been following a story originally from the HuffPost about Danny Masterson, formerly of That 70s Show, who was with the Church of Scientology.
Uh-oh.
He has several rape rape accusers.
Oh, okay.
And this is not being covered very well at all, especially with the stance that Netflix took against Kevin Spacey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, I'm new to listening to your show, and I'm wondering if you've covered this and where it's going.
So we haven't been talking in detail about the various different names that have been coming out of Hollywood. We certainly did talk about the Weinstein thing. That was big, a big headline. I'm sure that we've covered one or two other names, but we haven't gotten into to details here. So I don't know a whole lot about this particular story. I did just pull up a piece here from Newsweek. Church of Scientology influenced Danny Masterson rape investigation, according to according to Leah Remini, who is an actress. She's speaking out against the Church of Scientology in this case. If you want, Andrew, we can look a little closer at it. You can hang on and continue the discussion. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, but we have talked about Scientology in great detail here on Free Talk Live and how they have a very well-funded legal division that will sue anybody who talks badly about Scientology. We'll continue in moments. It's Free Talk Live.
Whether you share content as a curator or produce it as a creator, the source of your advertising revenue is often limited by intermediaries like YouTube. What if there was a way to connect content creators directly with advertisers, decentralizing attention-based market advertising transactions and putting the control back into the hands of content owners? Introducing the revolutionary Signal Token Protocol by Spective VR. Partnered with Blend Media, the largest network of 360 video content in the world, and featured on Fox Business's Innovations, Spective VR is a 360 VR streaming platform created to be the first use case and early adopter of the Signal Token Protocol, driving real use and allowing Spective to optimize their platform. SpectiveVR.com is hosting a pre-ICO for Signal tokens starting December 8th at a 40% bonus. For early access to the token sale and an exclusive 60% token bonus, sign up for the email list at SpectiveVR.com.
Have you ever wondered who the second person to discover gravity was? When you're in the mood for a treat, would you go to the second best bakery in town? Or how about the name John Breckenridge? Recognize it? If you don't, that's because he came in second to Abraham Lincoln. The firsts are first for a reason. Just how ID Stronghold was the first to create the technology to protect your credit cards from thieves with RFID chip scanners. ID Stronghold products block signals from those scanners, so thieves can't capture your critical data. Get a stronghold on your personal information and protect your family too. Don't settle for the second best wallet. Pick up ID Stronghold wallets for everyone on your list this holiday season. They're the perfect stocking stuffer, with leather wallets starting as low as $20 on Walmart.com, eBay, Amazon, and QVC. Save 10% by using coupon code PRESENT for a limited time. That's coupon code PRESENT only on IDStronghold.com. IDStronghold.com.
After notifying students that there will be no awesome events happening on campus this weekend, Hamilton College Activity Board Coordinator Jessica Wilson from the class of 2015 spoke to Onion reporters about the disappointingly empty days ahead.
On behalf of the entire Campus Activities Board, I would like to truly apologize for failing to live up to the standards expected of us from everyone on campus. And the fact is, we let the school down.
Wilson said that while the board is usually proficient at booking plenty of cool events for all students to participate in, the upcoming weekend will have no interesting lectures, no wrestling match against Amherst, no acoustic coffee house, and no outdoor movie screening of Silver Linings Playbook.
We tried our best to organize a foam party in Dunham Quad for Friday night, but all the foam machines were rented, and we failed. This falls on us. We realize we don't deserve your trust yet, nor do we expect it, but we'll do everything we can to restore your confidence in us, starting with a comedy hypnotist show on Thursday at Minor Theater. Tickets are $5.
This is the Onion News Network.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
You can connect with the Liberty Radio Network via our Facebook page at facebook.lrn.fm. That's facebook.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. Moments remain here. Enough time for you. If you dial in right now, you can get on the line with us at 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. With you here in the studio tonight, you've got Ian.
And Johnson.
And Will.
We're going to go back to your phone calls and thoughts. Of course, you can bring up anything that you want. We had Andrew on the line listening in Detroit. He's actually tuned in online to our affiliate in Albuquerque, one of our affiliates in Albuquerque, KABQ. And Andrew, you'd called in about Danny Masterson. He is one of the actors from the show, I think you said it was That 70s Show. He, according to Newsweek, in a story published fairly recently, the Los Angeles Police Department and the LA County District Attorney's Office has now begun investigating actor Danny Masterson for allegedly raping Chrissy Bixler and other women. Despite overwhelming evidence, they claim no charges have been filed. Actress Leah Remini thinks she knows why. The Church of Scientology. She spoke to the Daily Beast in a broad-ranging interview published Friday that included her pointed thoughts about the stalled case against Masterson, one of dozens of men in Hollywood and beyond who have been in the spotlight in recent months for alleged sexual misconduct, harassment, or assault. She says, quote, the captain of that department, Corey Palka, goes to the Scientology Celebrity Center often. There are pictures of him hanging at the Celebrity Center. She said, Scientology is very slick in that it's partnered in this police activities league with a Hollywood division, and every year around Christmas time, Celebrity Center International, right on Franklin, presents the Hollywood Police Department with a check for their police activities league, which gives back to children. Remini, who's a former Scientologist who left the church in 2013 and has been shining a light on its harmful practices with a memoir and television series, blames warm ties between the church and the LAPD's Hollywood division when cases like the Masterson rape investigation are mishandled. Andrew, is that kind of, so you were just curious about our thoughts just in general about the allegations or about how the Church of Scientology might be involved?
Thank you so much for doing that bit of research to bring this to light. My concern is that his show, along with his co-star Ashton Kutcher, is going to begin its fourth season, The Ranch, on Netflix, live streaming, early in December. And Netflix is taking no action about this at all, especially in light of how they dealt with Kevin Spacey.
Now, didn't Kevin Spacey admit to the allegations against him, and then he got the axe by Netflix? Wasn't that one of the key differences here?
It may be just that, but if you look a little closer this week, there was some sort of a statement made that you cannot sexually assault your partner. And this is one of the new statements that's coming out about this.
Well, certainly you can sexually assault your partner. If somebody says no and you continue.
That's what they're using from the Church of Scientology, that you can't sexually assault or rape your partner.
Wow.
If they're in a relationship with you, then they're a willing participant.
Yeah, that seems ridiculous.
Which, of course, we know is not always the truth.
Right.
But just that Netflix is refusing to do anything about this at all, and
well, I mean, I can understand
so
that.
close right now.
I think you got to be careful. I mean, I I wouldn't want to fire somebody from Free Talk Live just because allegations were made about them. I mean, even if it's coming from more than one person.
All I'm asking is for them to suspend it until more information one way or the other. They don't have to cancel. I would have said the same thing about Kevin Spacey.
Okay, so you think they went too far?
I was fine with the suspension.
Okay.
Well, suspension is great.
Well, I thought they fired him. I thought they canceled his character from the show or whatever, or that they're going to replace him with a different actor or something.
They finally did after he admitted to and whatever.
Okay.
Yes.
I see what you're saying.
But originally it was a suspension under suspicion. And I believe for the women's sake, that's the least you can do is suspend until, we clear this up.
Andrew, I want to thank you for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. I don't think I would suspend one of my co-hosts based on allegations. I just don't think that just because somebody comes out and makes some outrageous allegations doesn't mean that somebody should have their life completely upturned.
Well, that's because you yourself have been the victim of
even before that
allegations.
Even before I was a victim of those allegations, I would have still.
Your convictions are that much stronger now, is what I'm saying. That a lot of people say that, a lot of people say, well, I don't think that I would do that. But then when put in that situation and have to make hard decisions or they have to worry about publicity or public opinions and stuff like that,
allegations were coming out,
end up folding.
When allegations were coming out about Christopher Cantwell being a racist, I had to know for sure before I would do anything about it. And I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to believe it. But when I saw it, I believed it. And then he had to go. But until then, I did not, make a move to remove him from the air.
Accusations are not,
Yeah, there's unless there's evidence, or unless, as Kevin Spacey did, the person acquiesces and they admit they actually committed whatever the act was that they were accused of doing, then I think it's imprudent and unfair to just go ahead and pull somebody out of their career or whatever it was that they were doing. And I understand that things look bad, especially when you get the pile-on aspect where, the one person comes out and then three more people come out with similar allegations. When it looks bad like that, you can understand why these companies are going to make the moves that they're making because they're just trying to save face. They're trying to make it look like they are doing the right thing. But if what's actually happening is that there's a coordinated campaign against the individual of just lies, then you've just ruined somebody's career. You've been complicit then in ruining that person's career because of a bunch of unfounded allegations. So I have to say, I think people should be a little more cautious before they go ahead and cut ties with somebody that they're in a business arrangement with until there's clear evidence of whatever those accusations are. Let's go to Sarah. She's in New Mexico. You're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead, Sarah.
So we'll be watching and viewing the court-ordered anti-smoking commercials on television and a newspaper. So you remember that the last cigarette commercial was to actually they stopped the cigarette commercials. It was the Marlboro Man walking away and the horse like 40 years ago. So, but we're going to have these commercials that's going to be anti-tobacco, paid for by the tobacco companies. So what do you think about that?
What do I think about the tobacco companies being forced to make advertisements against themselves?
Yes.
Well,
How do you feel about
this
it?
happen back in the 1990s? Wasn't there like a mega court case where they were forced to make commercials against themselves? I seem to recall that. Maybe it was in the early aughts, but a long time ago, time ago, there was something like that. There was like a multi-$100 million, I don't know if it was like $900 million or something. I mean, I'm vaguely recalling the details of the case. Is this part of that original settlement, or is this a new settlement on them?
Well, you know what? I think this is the part of that settlement in the 1990s. What they've been doing is that their lawyers have been appealing and postponing and delaying, picking and nitpicking for years and years. So that time has run out. They cannot appeal and delay anymore and postpone. So now they have to they have to air these commercials.
It's hard to feel bad for Big Tobacco because they've been so in bed with the state for so long and asking for favors and getting them and asking for regulations to put their smaller competitors out of business, to put the vaporizer manufacturers out of business, to put the small tobacco growers out of business. So it's hard to feel bad for them when the violence of the state comes back around against them. That said, I would also say that I think the state needs to get the heck out of regulating things like cigarettes and alcohol and let people make their own choices. Who is it that's smoking cigarettes today doesn't know that that's probably going to be bad for them? I mean, is there really anybody out there who doesn't know that?
One thing about it is what's exciting is that only 15% of the adults smoke now. So then if those people cut down, the second, like somebody standing at the bus stop and being tortured by cigarette smoker will be less. It'll be like less harm done to me. I have a lot of hope this is a one more step forward of people quitting.
But the problem is you're taking the money out of the people's pockets who are their customers. So it's like you're forcing their customers to pay for advertisements to try to get them to quit smoking. You're just impoverishing them even more because the companies then have to raise the price of a pack of cigarettes. We'll see you tomorrow. freetalklive.com in the meantime.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com. Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless free market non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, November 27th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.12 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,295 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 4.3 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,671. Antiwar.com reports the Palestinian threat to retaliate by severing all diplomatic ties with the U.S. appears to have worked, and officials have confirmed that the U.S. has backtracked on a previous order for the Palestinian Liberation Organization to close its offices in Washington, D.C. The State Department regularly has to offer temporary permits to keep the office open, and after previously saying they would not do so to punish the Palestinians for joining the International Criminal Court, they've since granted them another 90-day permit to stay open. open. The State Department is trying to save face, however, saying that while they're letting the PLO stay open, they have advised the PLO office to limit its activity to only those specifically related to peace talks. Israel is mad at the Palestinians for joining the ICC, and Israel is not a party to the ICC, which is their way of trying to avoid facing court for war crimes, but the Palestinians' membership gives the ICC jurisdiction over Palestinian territories.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports photo-sharing website Imgur confirmed 1.7 million email addresses and passwords were stolen during a breach in 2014. Imgur released a blog post on Friday notifying users of the breach after attackers possibly cracked the website's password encryption algorithm. The post stated, "While we are still actively investigating the intrusion, we wanted to inform you as quickly as possible as to what we know and what we are doing in response." Troy Hunt, who runs the data breach notification site Have I Been Pwned, notified Imgur of the breach on Thursday after he was sent the data that included the information of Imgur users. The company said he simultaneously notified Imgur's founder and CEO and vice president of engineering. Our vice president of engineering then arranged to securely receive the data from the researcher and began working to validate the data belonged to Imgur users. After being notified of the breach, the company began resetting passwords of the affected accounts. Imgur said the information stolen in the breach did not include any personally identifying information such as real names, addresses, or phone numbers, as the site has never asked users to provide such information. While noting the incident is still under investigation, Imgur Chief Operating Officer Roy Siegel said attackers may have cracked the site's password encryption through brute force due to the older SHA-256 algorithm, which has since been updated. Imgur encouraged users to use different email and password combinations for all of their online accounts and to reset passwords that may have been affected by the breach. Hunt praised Imgur for quickly responding to the news of the breach despite learning of it during a holiday.
Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a